The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this big day Tuesday, and that's no bull, January 30th, 2024. This program starts now.
Football
is a beautiful thing, and the goat of it will be joining us in a matter of 10 minutes. Tom Brady, formerly of the New England Patriots, then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, before that Michigan, now super businessman, speaker, entrepreneur, GOAT, future color commentator for Fox, will be joining us chit-chatting about his company's TB12 and the Brady brand merging with No Bull.
Hell yeah!
Congratulations to Tom and Mike Rapoli for making a big-time business move. Mike Rapoli, the super genius behind Vitamin Water and
Body Armor,
and now, obviously, No Bull working alongside TB12 and the Brady brand. Not only just shoes, which I got on, they said,
Whoa!
Oh! That's Joe DeLardo. Okay, greatest Doppler reader of all time. Rest in peace.
Joe.
Love you. And then those are Nobles there. They don't have a tongue, which I'm normally not the biggest fan of because I got fat feet, but they are comfortable. Noble was just merch and shoes. Now it's moving into a wellness brand as well with TB12 and the Brady brand coming in. So Noble, a company out of Boston, teams up with one of Boston's greatest stars in the history of the city of Boston to create something special. We can't wait to chat with Tom. This will be the first time I ever talked to him.
Here we go.
First time ever.
Wow.
Warm-ups, he's always come over, talk to Vinatieri, and then there's like a, what's up? He's jogging with him. And then after the game, he'd come talk to Vinatieri, and it was a good, yeah, he beat us by 50. And then walk away. First time ever talking to him. I appreciate the fact that he nor his people were like, hey, you need to get on the phone with Tom before the show.
Yes.
You need to talk to Tom, tell Tom what you want to talk about. Like, that was not the case at all.
Nope.
So shout out to Tom Brady, who seemingly has a full machine around him at all times, not acting how most people who have that. I can't wait to chat with him.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he's thinking about the future, how he's been. I think he was just in Australia throwing footballs to people in conventions, in conferences. Today should be a big one. I assume everything he says out of this is probably going to get clipped, either taken out of context or ran with in some different fashion. Welcome to sports media, Tom Brady.
Yep.
The Talks the Table is here at Boss O'Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. And 9-year NFL vet, former teammate of Tom Brady out of UConn, Darius J. Butler. We got some good D, bad D coming down the pipe today as well in the third hour, Darius.
Oh, yeah.
And you looked back at championship weekend and broke down who was doing what and who was playing great. Sounds like we're going to get a lot of Chiefs if the early preview is accurate from what I've heard.
Absolutely. A lot of Chiefs, a lot of Niners.
So that Chiefs defense, whenever you watch them on film, I think throughout the year it's been hard for people to give them the credit that they are obviously deserving of because they have Patrick Mahomes on the other side of the field, because they have Travis Kelce on the other side of the field, because they have Andy Reid on the offensive side, seemingly the big brain. The defense rarely gets thought about, but what they have been doing has been phenomenal. Obviously, the last 2 weeks, everybody's got to see it on the biggest of stages, but like them becoming a defensive first team and a, hey, let's take care of the ball so that our defense can win us the game team has been a beautiful thing to watch. And you ask yourself, why is this defense so damn good? Well, Spagnuolo, who's been coaching in the NFL forever, had a quote about his defense that I think rang true with a lot of people that have played in the NFL. This is the highest number of defensive players with high intelligence with football that I've had. Everybody has a guy that doesn't get it, that makes all of the mistakes. We don't have any of those guys. Not only the guy that makes all the mistakes, but he's also the guy that everybody else has to go to before the play to let him know what he needs to do, and then they got to get back on their task. So not only do you have to worry about the other team shifting, motioning, what are they in? Are they in 21, whatever the personnel is? Also, we got to make sure this guy, who's phenomenal at football, can fly around, make every play, but doesn't necessarily know why we are doing everything we're doing. It's just an added element that they don't have to deal with this year. And it shows up on film, it feels like, with this Chiefs defense, D-Bud.
Oh, yeah. Belichick had that for a long time as well. Once again, those guys didn't get a lot of headlines, obviously, because of Brady, Gronk, Jules, and all those guys. But, Chung, McCourty, Mayo, Wilfork, like those guys were brilliant between the ears. And it's usually you only have maybe 2, 3 of those guys on the field at a time. And you can see with Spags' defense, it's 5, 6, 7 guys all on the same page. Guys can fly around. McDuffie, Snead, Reed has been awesome in these playoffs as well. So it's been a beautiful thing to see on defense.
Drew Tranquil is starting to get loud on the internet for how he's been playing there this particular year. I love seeing that. But we talk about Snead. McDuffie on the other side, all pro as well.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really ever get chatted about. Whenever you are all tied together and everybody's on the same page, and the old adage is, if we're all wrong, we're all right. Yep. Mostly because there would be people wrong. Sounds like they're not wrong on this particular team. What Spagnuolo is calling, they're running, and everybody's in unison. It's beautiful. And that's why you hold Lamar Jackson to 10 points.
Yeah.
That's why you make the Buffalo Bills become a running team as opposed to a passing team, because you're able to dictate what the other team does. Dan Orlovsky said yesterday, what Spags is doing is controlling the offense as opposed to the offense controlling the defense. This is the most full team that Patrick has had, and everything that Spags says about this defense makes us believe even more like, oh, they're better than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't look like it for a while on the offensive side, they just had to figure out who the hell they were this year, and now they're just adapting to it, and they're better than they've been. And there's a question now happening on every other media show is like, is this a dynasty? Yeah. 4 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, winning 2 of them. Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback. Travis Kelce is the tight end of the team. Yeah. Are they already calling for the coach to retire if he's the win? Yeah. You're in the middle of a dynasty. This is everything that a dynasty has had in the past in this league. Now, obviously, it's not 20 plus years, which we will talk to Tom Brady in about 4 minutes about. I cannot wait to hear why and how he believes that happened for so long. Yeah. And at what point did you just kind of get trapped in a time warp where you're like, every day is the same day for 2 decades, seemingly, and still remain as committed as you are? But what they're doing is special, and we need to remember that as we're watching it over there.
Yeah, the fact that this is the most complete team they've had, and they're going for the 3rd Super Bowl, like you said, in 4 years, but because of the fact that Spags, was there in 2019 when they matched up with the 49ers in the Super Bowl, like, is there anything to that about coordinators playing each other again, even if this defensive unit is way better than what they were in 2019?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always carryover scheme-wise. Gotta have it plays. That's something probably Tom will talk about at some point, but gotta have it plays. A lot of times coordinators, it's going to be certain players you want to get, dialed up and get them open. So knowing what they like to go to, what type of plays. Obviously, it's going to be different with Brock Purdy at the helm, but definitely the more familiar you are with that play call, it'll help you for sure.
For the dynasty thing, I saw a graphic today. If they win if they win this Super Bowl, they will have a better 5-year run than the best Patriots 5-year one. I think it was 13 to 18 or something like that. They'll have more wins. They'll have more Super Bowls. And then
same Super Bowls.
3 and 5? Was it 3 and 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong then.
No, it's okay.
Oh, you're done now? Just middle of that?
No, well, I have to be now.
Well, I felt like people are wrong all the time.
Yeah, no, it was still great.
Yeah, you got corrected.
I feel like if we're wrong, we should stop.
Then we're not going to have we're on 3 hours every single day. That is not. I mean, that's if you get
personally,
corrected.
I have to hold myself to that standard.
Well, I'm happy that you are a brand new Tone Diggs now that we are at Super Bowl time. But I think as the NFL looks around, and obviously there's been a lot of moves in the AFC West. Okay, new coaches, new GMs, new everything. They're in the Big Bad Wolves division there of the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you think about this AFC with how deep it is, with all the quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joey Burrow, who was hurt this year, I think a lot of people are already forgetting about because what Jake Browning was able to come in and do. Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, obviously on the come up. It's like the AFC is absolutely packed and loaded. And I forget who said it yesterday, but somebody said we have to stop just automatically putting every good quarterback on Patrick Mahomes' level. And I think that's a very fair assessment because he's 28 years old. So all of us, myself included, want to be like, the next generation of quarterbacks is great. We go Patrick, Lamar, Josh, Joey, and then the next generation after that, seemingly going to be incredible as well with CJ and the boys leading the entire thing. Brock Purdy in his second year doing his whole thing. It's like Patrick Mahomes is already superseded that conversation. Now, he's been on great teams. Yes. He's been in great situations. Yes. Andy Reid loves having him as his quarterback, can draw up plays better than anybody potentially in the history of football, and there's been a lot of great offensive minds around there. But I think what the conversation has become, and there's people already labeling Mahomes the GOAT over Tom Brady, which I'm going to ask him here in a matter of moments about, not about that specific thing, about being the GOAT. Now for the next 30 years, just like what happens to Michael Jordan, all you're going to hear is just people trying to saw you down, saying somebody else is better than you. Sucks. You're the greatest of all time.
Yeah, brutal.
But that is what you kind of earn your way into in the sports media conversation-wise. But at 28, he's already been talked about by some people as like, this is the greatest guy, this is the greatest player of all time. Everybody, including Pat, is probably like, I still have a lot more to do. Let's have that conversation later. But he has certainly projected himself into a Mount Rushmore conversation at the age of 28, which is bananas to think about for a guy after watching quarterback is seemingly a human as well, which is not normal.
Especially how he came out of the gate, like 50 touchdowns, MVP, Super Bowl runs. You expect, okay, at some point it's going to be some type of fall off, but he's just getting, if he shut it down right now, regardless of what happens in the Super Bowl, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. A lot of people break down, Brady's career and like, hey, this guy had 3 different Hall of Fame careers, so I'm definitely in the argument of, hey, pump the brakes, let him continue to play this out. But he's on that Mount Rushmore already, in my opinion.
Joining us now is a man who will be compared to forever whenever they're talking about GOAT conversations in the sport of football. That's because he won 7 Super Bowls.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Was consistently dominant for more than 2 decades at football. Ridiculously handsome. So absurdly handsome.
Yep. Always.
An underdog story, too. Picked at 199 of the NFL draft. Not a top 5 pick. Not handed anything. And then what did he do? He went to work, did his job, became the greatest of all time. And now, a phenomenal businessman in a great representation of the greatest league on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady.
Yeah!
Hell yeah,
What's
dude.
up, my man?
Tom, I thought this was all potential gimmick rip. I didn't know if you were actually on the show. I'm so pumped you were here. Hey, we love you, dude.
Yeah.
We love you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
You look.
You got a great thing going, and you've had your own underdog story and your own path to success with your show, and so many good things are happening. I'm super excited about 2024, and it's off to a great start. Obviously, with the announcement of the Noble merger, I'm super excited about, and the Super Bowl's coming up. I'm excited about that, and I've been working hard on my Fox broadcasting opportunity, which I'm super excited about. So again, it's a fun year.
Well, we're lucky that this year has started with us being able to say you've joined us, and congrats on everything. Legitimately. Okay, obviously a lot of hard work goes into all of it. Let's talk about the TB12 brand and the Brady brand merging with Noble, a company out of Boston with Mike Rapoli, obviously. And whenever you launch TB12, I, as a guy who got a chance to play alongside Adam Vinatieri, who had somebody travel in and do the pliability and do basically, I think, what you were preaching and talking about the longevity. So I got a chance to see that. I think a lot of people did. Then you making that a brand to make everybody better. And then you building the Brady brand, now teaming with Noble. It's like, seems like everything's going exactly how you projected it to go with the brands. And how do you see the future with Noble going?
Yeah, I expect joining a big platform like Noble already has, I think, gives me the opportunity to impact a lot of lives. And I think a lot like what you're doing with your show, you start a certain path and then you get different opportunities and you create into a bigger opportunity. And I know there's massive growth potential. There's great business partner and leader with Mike Rapoli, who's become a great friend of mine over the last few years. And we have a great mission. We have a great vision, and there's still a lot of tactics to be worked out, but I love being affiliated with Noble. It's a Boston company. It's where my roots were. We care about our consumer, and we plan to do great things.
I think 10% off right now at nobleproject.com. And then there's also
free shipping on orders over $99.
So, and all the quality of the products. Hey, look at it. Hey, Tom, I got these Nobles.
Let me see.
I got these
Now
Nobles.
we're talking.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Those look good.
Huh? I feel like I could throw
Those
a football.
look really good. I can't even pull that off right now. Look at you.
Hey, I'm flexible. Repliability, baby. Repliability, baby.
Pliable.
Yeah, you know what the deal is.
And I'm happy you've done that too. I mean, I think you talk about Adam Vinatieri really embracing that. I think, so much of what I want to do in my life is impact people in a positive way. And I've been blessed to be around the most amazing people. And my best friend and body coach, Alex, who taught me so much about how to take care of myself, really is the reason why I was able to play 23 years. And I say that in all humility, and I just loved playing so much, I never wanted to give it up. And unfortunately, I got to watch now, and I think in these moments when they got championship games and Super Bowls, next year I'm going to be calling a Super Bowl for Fox, which is going to be incredible. And it's been a different experience this year watching, but I've certainly enjoyed not getting hit by Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh anymore, and enjoying other parts of my life, which have been really fun.
Okay, well, let's talk about your football run for 23 years now. I brought it up just like a matter of moments ago. For that long to be that committed to something, was there just like a time warp that kind of took place? Like, did you, from like years, let's say 6 years, I played for 8 years. Okay, been nominated for the Hall of Fame twice in 8 years. Hey, no big deal. Never make in, but I'm nominated, and that is on the Twitter bio for the rest of my life. You played 3 times that at the quarterback position, which is obviously the amount of film and preparation, and you and Alex with the body work. Like, was there a moment in time that just kind of disappeared from like years 8 to year 20? Like, did you look up once and like, damn, I'm 2 decades into this thing? Or how did you kind of take each year? And at what point did you realize you were doing something that we had never seen before, Tom? Did you ever have that moment?
Yeah, it was a lot of step by step over a lot of years. Obviously, falling in love with the sport, growing up in the Bay Area and seeing the 49ers, create their dynasty with my football idols, Joe Montana and Steve Young. And then I fell in love with it and went to Michigan, had some success there, and then ultimately went to the Patriots at the right time. And Coach Belichick was there, and he embraced me. We had an amazing group of guys that really drove the culture of winning and success. And we had success playing, and I loved, obviously, playing quarterback. I got to be around all my friends, and you know what the locker rooms are like. There's so much joy in that. And in about 2006, 2007, I was like, wow, I'm loving this. I want to play as long as I can. And at that point, I was working pretty extensively with Alex, my body coach, and we just kept at it and refining what I was doing in the off season, my nutrition, my hydration, all my pliability treatments, how I would train and so forth, and started a business, TB12 Sports, in 2013. And I think we created a lot of change and impact in the world, certainly in the world of sports we did. But we had so many clients with testimonials that changed their life. And I want to broaden that in this merger with Noble to reach even more people. And if everyone can just make simple changes and get the right type of information, as we know, there's so much convoluted information out there, but to have really a direct source. And I'm not telling anyone to do anything that I haven't done or tried, and things that I want to see myself continue to grow in different areas. And certainly in sports, I did that. In broadcasting for Fox, I've really tried to attack that in the exact same way that I always approached my football career. And then in the entrepreneurial side of my life too, attacking this TB12 Brady brand merger with Noble to create more explosive growth is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it seems like you've had success at actually everything. So, hey, way to go. Hey, way to go. Yeah. Now, it's not, you don't just get lucky. That doesn't just happen whenever you're just...
Well, I think the point is there's a lot of success certainly for myself, and you could speak to this as well, isn't necessarily linear. It's not a straight line. There's a lot of adversities. There's a lot of different challenges and learnings and growth and evolving. And I think that, I look back on the first 46 years of my life, and, the Frank Sinatra line, regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I feel like that's been my life, and I wouldn't change anything in terms of how I've approached my professional career. And I can look forward to continue all those lessons that I've learned from sports and teamwork and discipline and accountability into my Fox broadcasting job, into my other entrepreneurial aspects of my life, like this merge with Noble. So things are very positive, and all I'm going to do is continue to surround myself with people that I can learn from and that can continue to help me grow. I've spoke to a lot of broadcasters from this entire season, just learning from them, current broadcasters, ones that have done play-by-play analysis. And it's been really fun. I've connected with a lot of fun people. I've got great notes. I could probably write a broadcasting playbook at this point. But it's been something that I really challenged myself, and I really look forward to get on there and calling games for Fox starting in September.
I assumed that you were going to be obsessive with your preparation to call games, especially with how loud the conversation has been about Greg Olsen. Have you gotten a chance to chat with him about that? Was that a weird situation? Because like Stephen A. said earlier when I was on First Take, you joined him on his podcast, and I believe Stephen A.'s exact words were, that brother is going to kill it in the booth. And I think all of us that obviously have played the game understand that your brain talking over football is good for the NFL, the greatest of all time. Have you gotten a chance to chat with Greg? Has that become like a interesting situation for you at all? And how have you prepared this year? Have you done like fake games? Have you gone to a booth?
Yeah.
How has that whole thing kind of worked getting prepared for next year?
I've been out to Fox Studios a few times and done some really dry runs with Kevin, who's tremendous at what he does. I'm super excited to join an amazing team. Rich Russo and Richie Zions. We've talked a lot about football. We've talked a lot about how I see the game. And I think Greg's done an incredible job. I have so much respect for him, how he approaches his job. He's super prepared in what he does. I think he does an incredible job every time he's on. I love listening to him. And I'm just going to go in there and do the best I can do with my own perspective. And I certainly have had a unique vision and perspective of the game of 23 years. And hopefully I just can provide some insight to all the viewers and all the fans who love the game, who love the sport.
Unique. I'd say.
It's unique. I've been a part of a lot of Super Bowls, championship games. I've had some, seasons that didn't go the way we wanted. I have some injuries. I was undrafted rookie. I've seen guys come in with great expectations and not meet it. I've seen underdogs like Julian Edelman come along and make it. So again, I think I've had 23 years of just observing, and I get to go on now and speak to a wider audience. And I used to probably use my body and my brain out there, and people would see me kind of lead the team down the field, and now I get to do that in a different way using my voice.
Okay, so you're one of those people that are up in that conversation, the Michael Jordan, the Wayne Gretzky, Serena Williams. You're the football representation of it. And I've heard you say, like, I just love my sport, and I think I think you and Kobe even had conversations about that type of thing. Yeah. All of those humans up there, okay, all those humans have an ability to, like in The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he was in Utah eating at a restaurant, and a coach walked in and was like, Mr. Jordan, you look more handsome than I've ever seen you before. You were awesome. And then Michael Jordan's, that's all I needed, that son of a bitch. Like, he found motivation in that type of thing. I assume you were a very similar style person when everybody was just saying you were done throughout the last decade and a half of your career. But also going into the booth, are you utilizing the same thing, hearing what people are saying about you going in there? And how do you balance that while still being a human going forward?
Yeah, well, naturally, there's skepticism with a lot of different things when you try new areas of growth. I don't think naturally I'm going to go in and on day one have everything figured out. A lot like when I was a rookie in football, I'm going to be a rookie on Fox. And I've got a lot of great teammates that have really embraced me and have opened their arms to help me learn and understand exactly what I'm responsible for. And then I've gone out and I've tried to have my own personality and take on it. So I think there's definitely been some improvement over the course of this off season of broadcasting that I've taken off just because I really wanted a chance to really dig my feet in and understand exactly how to get good at this as fast as I can. But at the same time, the broadcaster I'm going to be 5 years from now is going to be hopefully more improved than the one that starts on day one. So I'm going to go in there with the opportunity to start and learn, and I'm sure by the end of the year I'll feel more comfortable. We have the Super Bowl on Fox next year in New Orleans, which was where I first played my first Super Bowl. John Madden and Fox was on the call. So there's some really cool things that, as I thought about taking that opportunity, as something that I really want to be a great ambassador for the NFL and the game. I love the sport. I love the athletes. I love the organizations, and I really appreciate how, when I watched these games this last weekend, how challenging it is to get there again, like the Chiefs has, and the 49ers, the organizations that they've put together from the top down, and great coaching staffs, the players have bought in, and that's why you're able to win year after year. And I was fortunate to be a part of that organization at the Patriots for 20 years. I tried to do things the right way. We all came together as a team, and that's really what life's about. It's about surrounding yourself with great teammates, and nothing of significance comes as an individual in life. You have to trust and rely on other people to do their job and do the things that you're not great at. I feel like there were so many things I was incapable of on the field. I couldn't catch a pass. I couldn't run. I couldn't play defense. I couldn't make a tackle. What I could do was I could try to think my way through the game, throw the ball accurately, be a good leader. And I surrounded myself with a lot of players who could do those things. Hall of Fame type players like Randy Moss and Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. So many talented players that I got to play with over a long period of time.
1,000-yard rusher, though. Don't ever forget it.
Hell yeah.
Don't ever. Hey,
1,000 sneaks.
Hey, doesn't matter. Remember, this guy's the best at this.
Yeah.
This guy is the best at this. You were able to find it. Touchdown score. Obviously, nobody's picking Tom Brady in a race against other professional athletes.
Definitely not.
But you need a yard. Nobody's picking anybody other than Tom Brady. Maybe Jason Kelsey's ass.
He's up there.
With the
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Jalen Hurts, obviously, they changed the game with that whole thing. And you talk about this Kansas City Chiefs team. We are naturally just calling them the next dynasty. 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls, obviously 2 times winning it. And then what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do. Travis Kelce is going to go down as greatest of all time. I assume Gronk, in your eyes, greatest of all time. There's going to be arguments made for both of them. Andy Reid is going to go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. So as the person who is at the quarterback helm of a dynasty that lasted 20 some years up there in New England, which is going to be hard to achieve ever again in any sport. Why do you think it took place? You think it's just strictly, and from the way it sounds like you're going to answer this is, well, great teammates and everything like that. But whenever they talk about the Patriot way, that is normally the reason that is given, is like the Patriot way, the Patriot way, the Patriot way. And then people say, well, is that Tom or is that Bill? What do you think about that? Well, that whole
I think that sounds like, I've never used that term in my entire life. I think when people say it, I'm always like, what's the Patriot way? It sounds like the title of a book. I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced. And I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that, really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates and I'm going to care about helping the team win. And whatever personal agenda you had, individual success and individual awards, I don't want to make those insignificant, but they weren't as significant as what we were trying to accomplish as a team. And I think being a real selfless player and understanding that if the ball didn't come your way as a receiver and it went somewhere else, that was a great thing for the team, as opposed to a lot of times, if it doesn't go to you or if you don't make the tackle, you get frustrated that you don't feel like you're a part of it. To me, it was always when we'd score touchdowns, we'd celebrate with the O-line, because without them, we didn't have anything. I didn't have time to throw the ball. We didn't have holes that we could open up in the O-line for our backs to get through. We didn't have, when we had tight end like Gronk at the point of attack, early in my career, Dan Graham, one of the great blockers that I've ever seen. We could run to the tight end, and that tight end now could release up the seam and throw the ball for a big gain on third down. You can get to big targets in the red area. But again, it was all teamwork. It was the running backs blocking and pass protection so that the receivers could catch the ball. And then it was receivers blocking in the run game so we could spring our backs for long runs. Those were the things that I thought we celebrated a lot as a team that maybe aren't glorified on television, but those are the things I'd like to point out when I'm on Fox next year. It's that this is the ultimate team sport. We're playing chess out there. We're not thinking about necessarily where the ball is. I'm looking for things that are creating these opportunities for everybody to make plays, whether it's offense, defense, or in the kicking game.
The way you've described the team here throughout this entire conversation, whether it's Noble or you're talking about those Patriot squads, do you think that's because you're like pick 199, guy that wasn't necessarily Heisman in college? Because the big story that everybody says that was a New England Patriot, that was a player, they go, Bill Belichick would say the same things to Tom Brady, who is sitting in the front row, as he would say to everybody else. And I think people that played high school football are like, yeah, of course, he would coach everybody the same way. But that's not normal across the NFL.
Yeah.
I think you know that from now probably hearing about stuff in other buildings. And the reason why it's mentioned so much is because it's not normal. Like, you just have this, why do you think you're the guy who would go on to be the greatest of all time, but also would take a mother from a head coach in front of all of your peers and not really, make a big deal out of it? Actually, you would warrant the team to get better because now Bill could say that to everybody else on the team. Did you realize that in a moment that was one of the traits that you have that not a lot of people have? And why do you think you're that person?
Well, I think I was coached pretty hard in high school, and I was coached pretty hard in college, and I was used to that style. And I think we all got to the Patriots, and when we did things right, there was a lot of team success. And when we didn't do things right, I think what I appreciated about that environment and what I see in the business world a lot, and I don't see it as much in NFL teams right now, is accountability. And I think that there's a certain way that the team needs to operate in order to be successful. And I was okay with that. If the coach was going to be hard on me, I was going to accept the difficult coaching because I needed to hear it. And again, it motivated me. And there was a lot of players on our team that would see me get coached hard, and that they would say, okay, I got to step my game up because I don't want to get yelled at. Tom's getting yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at. Yeah. How do I up my game? And I think that's what accountability looks like. And you can't be, so have your ego so big that, any criticism is going to, lessen your confidence. I mean, look, you're going out there in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Vegas, and you got hundreds of millions of people watching. You better be tough at that point. You better have not go in there with, a weak attitude. Fragile. I think you got to go in there and you got to embrace the challenge, embrace the opportunity. You're going to be tested. And if your coach tests you and your teammates test you, then you can go beat your competition. If they're not testing you and you're waiting for game day to figure things out, you're at a disadvantage. So I love the fact that I was pushed every day to be my best. And I love that I had the ability to push my teammates every day to be their best. And when I did that, I knew that there was accountability back on me, that I was expected to go be my best. And ultimately that led to a lot of team success. So there's only one way to do it, in my opinion. You could do it over a short period of time. I don't think Andy Reid, lets his players get off the hook. I don't think Kyle Shanahan lets his players get off the hook. I see those guys with the very disciplined style. I respect those programs for how they run it. And I hope all the teams can learn from that so that we can create the most competitive NFL that there could be, and people continue to love the sport like I have over a long period of time.
There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but it feels like if there isn't accountability, there isn't success following in anything. That genuinely feels like that. So anytime the Patriot way gets mentioned, I think that's my first and everybody's first thought is like everybody is being held accountable to the same exact standard. Now, when you're 40 years old and you've won 6 Super Bowls and you're already being called the GOAT, was there anything to you getting to the point of just being sick? Like, I'm tired of Bill Belichick talking to me like I'm a 23-year-old. Because that was kind of the lingering at the end of your time at New England, is that although you had been the guy that just was, hey, I'm one of the guys, even though you never were, I respect the fact that you viewed yourself as one of the guys, having drinks with the boys, taking care of the boys, hanging out with the boys. Like, everything you did that I've heard is like incredible teammate, and you didn't have to. And for as long as you did it, phenomenal stuff. That's why everybody says hi. But at the end of your time with Bill, did there come a time where you're like, all right, Bill, I'm sick of this. Okay, I am a father now. I've made it. Is that real? Or do you think a lot of this stuff that kind of got said at the end of your run at New England with you and Bill kind of got taken out of context or kind of misunderstood?
Yeah, I think there was, I think first of all, you said like, to be one of the guys. That's what I always enjoyed more than anything about playing competitive sports, was what I was doing with the guys. So none of that felt like that was a stretch for me. I loved hanging out with my teammates in the locker room and feeling like I was completely vulnerable, to go in there and express how I felt. And what you saw on the field was very much who I was. I think the challenging part is you get off the field and you go out to a restaurant and you go, somewhere and you feel like, I have to, you're not in a protected environment. I felt like in those locker rooms, I was very protected. I was surrounded by people that loved what I loved. And obviously my respect for Coach Belichick is pretty well documented. He was an incredible leader and coach for our team. And I tried to do my best every single day that I took the field. I knew that he did the same thing. And I think that's why I respected his coaching so much. So toward the later part of my career, I really think there was so much people just trying to create some division, that most of it was untrue. But it's just the way the world works. And naturally, I think division from within is a big problem in these team environments. And I don't like seeing any dysfunction in team environments. I want everyone seeing things through one set of eyes, through one goal, through one vision, one mission, what we're trying to do with Noble. And I've got a great leader in Mike Rapoli, who's gonna create that vision for what we plan to do in our expansion and our growth.
Well, you and Coach Belichick did something that nobody else is ever going to do. They just Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in the middle of it. If they're able to do this for 20 years straight, more power to them.
Incredible. I feel the same way.
Yeah, like relationship-wise, not like humans, let alone football, strategy, ability, team evolution, salary cap, everything, let alone luck with injuries, everything that goes into it. But just humans, the aspect of humans having to work together for that long is abnormal. So you got, victory lap for what you guys did up there. Then you go down to Tampa Bay, and we happen to be down there about the same time. The amount of cranes that came to the city whenever you came there, obviously the ticket sales, everything that went through the roof for the Buccaneers. You win a Super Bowl there. It's beautiful. You now outright GOAT of the NFL. But with that comes like the immediate conversation, and you're getting into sports media, so you'll obviously recognize this. It's been happening to Michael Jordan since he retired the third time. So Michael Jordan now is the GOAT. Well, is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? This is every day for some sports media. Every single day, this is some of it. So that's going to come with people tearing down Michael Jordan to either put up LeBron James or tear down LeBron James to put over Michael Jordan. It's starting to happen with Patrick Mahomes right now, where there's people saying, he's already greatest of all time, better than Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't able to blah, 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 blah. Do you appreciate that? Do you respect that? Do you hate that? How do you feel about the bullshit that kind of comes alongside of being the greatest of all time for the biggest league on earth, Tom?
Yeah, I think that there's nothing that Patrick can do, in my opinion, that takes away from what I tried to accomplish in my career. And there's nothing that I did can take away from what he's trying to accomplish. I feel like all I tried to be was the best I could be. And I didn't, even though I had sporting idols, like I said, I could never be Steve Young. I could never be Joe Montana. Those are the guys I could never be Dan Marino or John Elway. These were my childhood idols. And they had incredible careers, and they put as much as they could into their career, and I really respect them for that. And I just tried to do the same thing. And believe me, if anybody can go out there and win 7 Super Bowls, I have so much respect for them. I understand how difficult it is. I will congratulate them, and I'm going to, give whatever it is a big hug. I texted my friend who plays with Pat after the game, and I just said, tell him congrats. I mean, just awesome to watch him play. And I love watching him lead his team. And of all the things I love leadership, and I love people that are selfless. I hate selfish teammates. I don't like being around people that are self-serving and always trying to create their own self-serving narrative about who they are. I love teams. I love team sports. I love celebrating success with other people and the businesses I'm a part of, whether that's being a part of the Fox broadcast team. I know that I'm just playing one role. Whether it's being a part of Noble, I know I'm playing one role. I need a lot of other teammates to help me come in and be successful. And I embrace that. There's so many things I'm not good at, and there's so many things I don't know. I get to be around people that are the best in the world at what they do, and I get to learn from them. So I see that as just continuing to add to my own learnings and my growth, and I still have hopefully a long life ahead. We'll see how it goes, but I've enjoyed it to this point, and hopefully there's a great second chapter ahead.
Yeah, we assume you're never going to die, Tom. That is just what we all assume for how
That's going to happen, for sure.
Last question here, and we appreciate the hell out of your time. It feels like Patrick Mahomes has a lot of the similar traits and thoughts and mindsets that you do, which is why NFL fans are so excited that he's only 28 years old in this entire thing. There's a guy on our show who is diehard Patriot fan, has been to so many parades because of what you and your teammates have done. Yeah. Boston Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Tommy, I have to.
What's up, Boston?
I have to start and just say thank you. My whole life has been incredible because of the fact that you have won 6 Super Bowls, and I'm a loser every day, but I'm a winner as a football fan because of you and what the Patriots were able to do. So thank you. But looking forward with the Patriots, there was a clip that came out. It was you, Matt Light, and one other talking to Zolak, kind of about who Gerard Mayo, is as a player, teammate, everything. And you reference him as Gerard Belichick in it. What do you think the new era of New England with Belichick is going to be, with Mayo is going to be? And how do you feel he will do, kind of not having to copy what Bill had done and make his own thing in New England going forward?
Yeah, Gerard was a great leader, a great captain, a great friend. I think he had tremendous amount of success in football and then had success in other parts of his life when he retired, and then him coming back into coaching, I think is great for the NFL and certainly great for the Patriots. He's got a great understanding of how things need to be done. I think Gerard does an incredible job relating to everybody in the locker room, all the coaches, and I think he'll do a great job. So, it's tough for the Patriots. It's tough for every team in the NFL. After 2 weekends from now, it's going to be tough for 31 other teams for an entire offseason. And, there's only one happy team at the end of the year, and then 31 other teams are looking for answers, trying to figure out how to get back. And the Patriots are one of those teams, and they made some significant changes. There's been a lot of change in the NFL. That's always certain. I'm just excited to pay attention and watch it, and I'll be paying attention all off season, every move. And I know when I hit the ground running with Fox next year, we'll be up to speed and ready to go out there and kick some ass.
Absolutely. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask. You said you grew up watching the San Francisco 49ers. There was a report that Kyle Shanahan potentially tried to lure you out of retirement to come be quarterback. He told Brock Purdy that. And Brock Purdy is, handled it in the exact way that you would expect Brock Purdy, that we've learned him. Upset about it, but also understanding. This is going to happen every year for you. People are going to try to talk you out of retirement. And what do you think about Brock Purdy being maybe the next, it would have to be 22 more years of this. But, maybe the next Tom Brady. It seems like he has the it factor. He's obviously been underappreciated and underthought. What are your thoughts on Brock Purdy leading the Niners? And what are your thoughts on people trying to lure you out of retirement pretty much every offseason, I would assume, until you're 60 years old, probably?
Yeah, I think Brock's done a great job with the opportunity. He got it, and he's taken advantage of it. He was a late-round pick. I know he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to go out there and prove every day that he's the right fit for that team. And there's it's a great organization they're running. I really respect Kyle, but Brock's done a hell of a job. And, I think in football, whether you're a free agent, I've heard so many draft stories from when I was drafted. Oh, I was a scout for the Packers at the time. And, I was a scout for the Colts at the time. And had we taken you? And I think you can look at everything in football and say, what if? And the reality is I deal with what happened and the decisions that were made, whether it was free agency for me, whether it was signing contracts with the Patriots. And, in this last off season, there's a lot of different things that people would suggest, but I kind of just kept my mind focused on where I wanted to go. And again, this was a great year for me to sit back and watch and learn and get prepared for being in the Fox booth next year.
The Colts should have,
Sure.
Come on, Colt.
But when you were a free agent, I don't know if you heard, Tom, when you were a free agent, buddy, I was loud about you coming to Indianapolis. Obviously, Tampa Bay has Derek Jeter. I think the mayor of the city was there. They built a building for you. You deserved it all, bud. We appreciate you. Good luck with Noble. Good luck with Fox. And thank you for the time. You're the best, dude.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck to you guys. Keep it up, man. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, we stink, but that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady.
That's that chip on your shoulder.
Amen. Thank you, Tom. Have no idea how long he was supposed to stay on there, but you get Tom Brady, why not? Try to fire as many questions as possible. Team.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is, and Bill Belichick, you hear him.
Exactly.
They were the match made in heaven, seemingly, to create that greatness, which is kind of what we're seeing with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as well right now, D-Bud.
Yeah, he mentioned, having to be coach hard. You see it in other sports. Even like I think about Tom and Bill, I think about like Popovich and Tim Duncan. Like Tim Duncan, he was one of the guys, got coached hard, led the ship. And once again, if you can coach that guy that way, everybody else that's definitely going to fall in line. Obviously, guys got to be, all-world talent as well. That obviously matters and counts.
The obsessive preparation, him talking about next year, him being in the booth. And I know there's a lot of people bummed, including us, that are going to lose Greg Olsen in the Fox One booth. Now, there's a lot of contract stipulations for Greg Olsen where he goes from, and who knows what's real, by the way. We have no idea what public numbers are real for any contracts because we've been a part of some of these public reportings and they're completely wrong. So we don't know what's real and what isn't real, but there's potentially, from what's being talked about by people, once again, who know nothing normally, $10 million is what he's making as the number one guy. If he drops to the number two booth, that'll drop to $3 million. But he does have a clause in his contract where he can leave and go be a number one guy somewhere else at another network, and then that would be a renegotiation. I think everybody that is an NFL fan is looking to see Greg Olsen take a gig somewhere else as the number one person. But where? And now there's people throwing out different ideas on what it could be. I think it's going to work out for the NFL fans. Normally things like these do. But I don't think I fully had an opinion on how talking to him right there. He's going to be great.
Yeah, he's going to.
I have a unique view, he said, on the NFL. I'd say the GOAT has a unique view. I'd say the guy that has 7 Super Bowls in 2 different towns has a unique view. I'd say the guy that has set expectations for everybody that has followed him at an absurd level is going to have a unique view in the booth. I'm all of a sudden pumped up now to hear Tom Brady call games next season, and it sounds like he is as well. We're still 5-6 months away from that, and all he could say is, I am on a mission towards calling games next year coming up in September. It's like, this dude has a full office with notes on every player. He's probably following every single move, and he has heard everybody say, oh, we're losing Greg Olsen. Now we got boring Tom Brady in there. It's like, okay, let's let this guy's brain maybe cook for a little bit, but also let's find Greg Olsen a home somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Need Greg Olsen somewhere. Hopefully NBC is the one that I would hope for. But
whoa,
either way, I like Collins for two. I'm just saying it'd be nice to wrap up a long Sunday with Greg Olsen and Mike Tirico. With that being said,
sweet.
It would be sweet. You mentioned it with Jordan. Like, Brady having that chip on his shoulder, people thinking that he's not going to be good is one thing. Him drawing from some of the best, broadcasters like he mentioned that he's talked to, and also he's beating every single team. He's beaten every team in the NFL forever. And he
not only team, coordinators.
Yeah.
So every coordinator, and even if it's a young coordinator, he knows the tree in which that coordinator is coming from. So, like, the reason why Tony Romo won everybody over is because he was calling Patriots games and he was predicting what Tom Brady was going to do in that particular offense. Remember? The Romestradamus is what this Tony Romo guy is phenomenal. Now, that affable arc of Tony Romo, certainly with the entire football world, has done this a couple times. I am a fan because Tony Romo's just in there firing from the hip. I absolutely enjoy the hell out of listening to him do his thing. There are people that aren't. There's people that hate listening to me talk, and then there's others that enjoy it. So I am not saying one way or another, but Tom Brady's going to know what everybody's doing at all times. And him talking about, I want to kind of highlight about how Dan Graham, I think is the name he said, one of the best blockers I've ever seen, tight end.
Dog.
He's like, look, this happened and this happened. And he's like, it's chess happening at this entire thing. It's like, it's good for the NFL, whose ratings are higher than ever. Now, there's a lot of people saying they're not watching the Super Bowl.
Sure. Of course.
Okay, they're not watching it because they're sick of it. Okay, they're saying they ain't watched it.
Not in my house.
And I want to let you know, if that is how you feel, and that'll make you feel better on Super Bowl Sunday to not watch the Super Bowl, more power to you. But with all the stats and analytics are saying is these ratings are only going like this, and then we get the GOAT in the booth too, going forward. Seems like he's comfortable, confident, has a great team around him, has been working. It's good for the league that Tom Brady's doing this because it's a hard work schedule.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be on the road, traveling. He could be put up in a penthouse in Miami right now, handling his no-bull business, handling his other stuff, not traveling, not hitting the road. Him feeling obligated to give back to the league seemingly the way now he's getting paid ridiculously, but the NFL's making a ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
It's like, that's good for the league. Great for the league whenever the GOATs stick around.
Well, and I think with Romo, like, the knock for a lot of people now is like, hey, he doesn't prepare at all. He kind of just goes in there and shoots from the hip. He doesn't really know these teams. Like, he knows the quarterbacks, absolutely, but like it's like he's kind of just going in there and having a good time, and people don't want that. From what Tom just said, like, whether or not you think he's going to be good in the booth is that doesn't matter. Like, it's not going to be because he's not prepared. Like, he's going to go in there and he's obviously treating it just the same way he did when he was playing quarterback. Like, he will be prepared, and then obviously, like, learning how to call a game and like the ebbs and flows and all that kind of stuff, like, that will come in time, because you know week 1 next year people are going to be shitting on him and saying, oh, this isn't Greg Olsen, why don't we have Greg Olsen in the booth? Like, it's just bound to happen. But it's Tom Brady. Like, he's going to figure it out, and he's going to be damn good at it.
Just at a much smaller scale, I hopped back in the booth last night for Monday Night Raw and on Saturday for Royal Rumble. Haven't done it in like a year or so. Like, I'm going to have to,
same thing,
relearn the beats and the flow.
It's like riding a bike.
And what's happening. So Tom getting dropped in there obviously can do all the preparation, all the work. He's going to figure it out. He said, the broadcaster I am now, 5 years from now, vastly different. It's like he's already playing the long game with this entire thing. That's awesome.
Going to be a rookie again, chapter 2, and it's going to be, flipped really on his head. He came into the league underdog, $199. Now you're coming in, they're paying him whatever to be the number 1 guy. All the expectations are there. Be excited.
I'm excited for him to lose his shit whenever he's disgusted by a decision that was made. Like Peyton Manning.
The timeout.
Get one here.
Peyton Manning doing that.
Get one.
Like Tom being like, what are they? He's going 4th and
What?
They're down 3, fourth quarter, NFC Championship. We're not just going to take the points here. Like Tom's thoughts on it, because he seems old school, by the way.
Yeah.
He's an old school football guy.
Yeah.
Now, he's going to utilize the analytics. We know he has a big brain. But him being frustrated with decisions that are being made, I can't wait for that as well. Because he's going to spin it into a positive, obviously. Sounds like that is who he is as a person. That's why he's probably such a great natural leader and why he was able to relate to a locker room that is much younger than him for 2 decades plus. But it's like whenever he gets upset about, I'm excited for that moment as well in this entire
That's
thing.
like announcers, like people are going to be terrible week 1, and they're probably going to be terrible all year next year because that's just who people are. But as an announcer, like you said it perfect. Like I want the announcer to have the best knowledge they could possibly have in situational awareness, and that's what you're talking about right there, kicking it, going for it, 2 minutes, like what they should do, spiking it, getting out of bounds, blah, blah, blah. And then also learning something, like he's gonna teach you something every single game. Like he is gonna see the game so much different than anyone else has, and he's gonna relay it to us so then that we become smarter, and it's gonna be great for everyone.
The rats.
You kind of mentioned it too, like all the refs.
I can't wait for him to be like, I don't know.
But the callbacks from all these coaches, like he's played against a lot of these coaches, probably their dads, their kids, a lot of the players, so game planning and seeing the game, how it's changed over the last, the 23 years that he played. And it's not like he went out, throwing for, 150 yards a game. He, I think his second to last year, he was second MVP. So that's going to be crazy to see.
I appreciate that. It feels like he's going to be an over-preparer.
Yes.
And we got to see Herbstreit do this.
Yeah.
Herbstreit's board has 10,000 notes. He's 28 years into this thing. 10,000 notes on it, on schools and teams and things that he knows inside and out, but feels obligated to write all the notes out. And I think once he writes it, it kind of locks back in. Never looks one time. Like never. It's already,
doesn't he?
He has this entire board that he takes 5, 6 hours, 7, 8 hours to kind of piece together after all the interviews and all the conversations. And then in real time, doesn't even look at it. Like that is just, I'm excited for Tom Brady to get in there and just start wheeling and dealing. He said, what you saw on the field on Sundays was basically a culmination of everything we did the entire week. He's viewing it the same exact way. And when he gets in a zone in there, I think we're in a good spot.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and Noble, good business move for both of them.
Yeah. Also, him talking to the quarterbacks, like the opportunities like in the pre-production meeting where maybe those guys are a little bit more sheepish with whoever's doing it now, like every starting quarterback in the NFL is going to want to pick Tom Brady's brain and talk to him, and like the stuff he's going to glean from those conversations and be able to share on the broadcast. It's going to be awesome.
We have some breaking news that has taken place during our Tom Brady conversation. Tom Pelissero is reporting that Ben Johnson will be back with Detroit next year. Unfinished business, says the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, who for the last 2 coaching hiring cycles has seemingly been the belle of the ball, but has not taken a job. The Carolina Panthers allegedly wanted him very bad 2 years ago. He said no. This particular offseason, he was linked to the Commanders heavily. Now he is informed MCDC, Aaron Glenn, Jared Goff, J-Mo. I don't want to roll through all the weapons. Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And said, boys, we got close, but we didn't get the job done. Let's run it back. And if Aaron Glenn stays, this is something that none of the Lions fans could have expected, especially with the year that they had this year.
All season long, Ben Johnson was gone. Aaron Glenn was gone. I can't believe this is happening. This is the difference between the same old Lions and the brand new Lions. We are building something very, very special. I think the Lions are going to be around for a very long time. This is awesome.
I assume Sheila Ford Hamp had to bump up.
For sure.
She did last year, so I assume she will be doing it again this year.
Just a little bit of a bump up.
Yes.
Now, Dan Quinn, allegedly, potentially guy for the Seattle Seahawks, has also said he might go back to Dallas. Last offseason, he took a pay raise to stay at Dallas. I wonder if it'll be the same situation, or Jerry will say, you didn't have that job. We will pay you exactly what we paid you, okay? And we're happy to have you back for sure. But if the Seahawks don't hire Dan Quinn, and now the Commanders aren't hiring Ben Johnson, it's like who's going where? What we do know, Artie Smith is expected to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
What? Whoa. Yes.
Says Tom Pelissero, the Steelers are expected to hire former Falcons coach Arthur Smith as their offense coordinator per sources. Now, remember, Tom Pelissero and everybody is down in Mobile, Alabama at the Reese's Senior Bowl, where there might be some loose lips around lobbies and drinks. So we should see some more news break this week out of the Senior Bowl, which we were watching earlier today. One-on-ones are electrifying on NFL Network. Obviously, people can change what the NFL thinks about them in 1 week down in beautiful Mobile, Alabama. Artie Smith, though, seemingly the next offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's some Steelers fans that are only going to remember Artie Smith as the guy with his play sheet over his head in Atlanta. Or potentially remember the Atlanta Falcons fans that were in the audience for us during our Georgia game booing him whenever his name was mentioned. Let's remember that the reason why he has that head coaching job is because what he did at the Tennessee Titans organization with Derrick Henry, Tannehill, and the boys was so good he got a head coaching gig basically out of nowhere after sleeping on couches for a decade or so. I think this is a good hire for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know Artie. He's a strapping lad. Pittsburgh people are going to enjoy the way Artie operates. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, how do you feel about it, Tone?
Yeah, to your point right there about the Steelers fans, some Steelers fans, it's a majority of them. And I don't say this lightly. Those Steelers fans are idiots. Okay, so those same Steelers fans were saying, we need to get back to the Steeler way and run the football. Okay. As an OC with the Titans, they were number 2 and number 3 in the league in rushing yards and touchdowns. They got the 1 seed one year, and they went to the AFC Championship the other year. So I don't know if that's good or not.
And they were up, 14 on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Bingo. That was the AFC Championship. They lost in that one. And then in Atlanta, in the 3 years, 2 of those years they were in the top 10. One of them they were in the top 5 in rushing. Oh, but he didn't get Bijan touches. Okay, he had Bijan had 4 less touches per game than CMC, who was leading the league in them. So miss me with all that bullshit. This is a great hire. I hope he keeps a mustache. I hope we have an identity running the football. I am very happy with this.
Yeah, his dad, a Marine. I think he's going to love being in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh's going to love Artie Smith, and I think Artie is going to love Pittsburgh.
Gotta develop their quarterback. Either develop or find a quarterback. I know the run game is one thing, but we talked about the AFC earlier with all these quarterbacks over there. Like, you gotta find a guy or develop a guy.
To your point, he was that particular year, especially with Derrick Henry behind him, and maybe Najee will be able to do that, or Warren will be able to do that for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the backfield. Rooney, the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, came out and said Kenny Pickett's the guy. So when you talk about development, it's going to be Kenny Pickett, I believe, in the Pittsburgh Steelers' eye. They spent a first-round pick on a quarterback. That very rarely happens. They're going to give him every opportunity to succeed. Now, what happened with Desmond Ridder and Artie didn't,
Right.
But I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh would say, Kenny's got more talent than Desmond Ridder. Kenny has shown flashes of being great. That offense now with Mason Rudolph certainly went to higher levels, but if Kenny Pickett would have had the opportunity with the new offensive coordinators, maybe he does the same things that Mason Rudolph was able to accomplish. Massive question mark still on the offensive side of the ball, but now at least there's a little bit of a narrative in which way they're headed with Artie Smith.
Huge question mark. And Rooney and Tomlin both came out and said this is a big year for Kenny. So it feels like this is a do or die year.
Adam Schefter has tweeted and texted that Ben Johnson was not the head coaching lock that people thought. And his asking price spooked some teams per sources. So he goes back to Detroit and says for another year, if you're going to pay me this amount, I'll leave the Detroit Lions. If you're not, I'll just go back to what we've been doing. We were in the NFC Championship. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it used to be viewed as any head coaching job's a good one. Now some of the special brands are like, I can wait for at least a better opportunity to potentially open up. Seems like that's where Ben Johnson is. Good for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, hell yeah. Is there anything to just wanting to be a coordinator and not wanting to be a head coach?
I would expect that life is much better when you don't have to deal with all that bullshit. And you get a chance to run it back. Hour 2 will be on the other side. AJ Hawk and Big Perk join us. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 3. Coming back to get a chance to be in front of the WWE Universe is an absolute honor. I was told, hey, Pat, you want to come back and commentate? I said, hell yes.
Biggest WrestleMania. Let's go.
Royal Rumble, what an event. What a spectacular situation where stories can be written, where dreams can come true. You want to commentate? I said, hell yeah. Work with Michael Cole, the greatest of all time, alongside Corey Graves, a fresh baby. I said, I would love to do that.
Just telling Cole how happy I am that you're back.
That's awesome of you. Very nice of you. All I can hear is these people saying my name. I love the WWE Universe.
And then all of a sudden, 22, I'm in the Royal Rumble. Nobody gave me a heads up about that. I got my cowboy boots on.
Hey, Go ahead, buddy. You came to ruin my night and get in the Rumble? You're in the Rumble match. Go. You can win the thing. You can go to WrestleMania. You're the main event WrestleMania. Get him, Pat. Come on, Pat. Go get him. Get him. You're the main event WrestleMania. You, baby. You got this.
And then there was a thing in there. 7'3". You're just looking up at a statue of a being, and I see little Braun Breaker go, like barking at me. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be in here. Why would I be in here right now? I'm not prepared for this. And also, who would I be to take a main event at WrestleMania spot away from somebody? So I got my ass out of there. Now I went back in because I thought to myself, wait a minute, am I just gonna be a coward? And then I realized quickly, yeah, I think tonight I am. And I want to read back to the booth.
Pat McAfee maybe needs to stay on College game day and stay the hell away from me. That's all I gotta say about that. Maybe he should go back to punting or something.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of reiterating that with both his mouth and his eyes. That man oozes an intensity that I wasn't prepared for, to be honest with you. I'm having a good time down here. St. Pete, good weather. Got sunburned today. I don't know if you saw it. I took all the sun that is in St. Pete on my face. I'm talking to Michael Cole. I'm watching history. And then all of a sudden, I got Braun Breaker looking at me as if I'm some piece of meat, like he wants to bite me. I don't want that. Braun Breaker going 23 miles an hour off the ropes, and now he's going to stare at me. I don't think so. I didn't even have my gear on. You know what I mean? I was kind of caught off guard there. Got to be prepared for anything, I guess, especially in WWE. But overall, tonight was awesome. And it was great to be back. My schedule is awesome, wild, busy. Plus, gorgeous little baby girl, beautiful bride. So trying to balance everything has certainly been a thing. But anytime I get the opportunity to work alongside the geniuses and greats that are in the WWE, I'm certainly going to make the most of it and take advantage of the opportunity because this is a dream come true. So who knows what's next, but it'll be something.
We've got some breaking news tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off Monday Night Raw. Pat, I promised you we'd have one more run together. It's going to happen. Pat and I will be the new commentary team here on Monday Night Raw every week going forward.
I can't wait. I'm lucky to be sitting next to the GOAT one last time at least, and let's enjoy this ride, baby. Monday Night Raw.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big Day Tuesday, and that's no bull, January 30th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is beautiful. We had the GOAT of it on in the first hour, Tom Brady. If you didn't see it, I would recommend going back and watching it. The guy put on a clinic about being a team player and also about focus on what's next. Seems like he is going to be fantastic in the booth for Fox Sports if you listen to him talk it all there. And his merger between the TB12 brand, the Brady brand, and Noble now coming together is phenomenal. Good for him, and thank you for his time.
Thank you,
Tom Brady. The Talks and Tape was here at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. One after the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 9-year NFL vet. Host of Everything DB presents Good D, Bad D, which will come in the third hour today on ESPN Plus. Big day yesterday on ESPN Plus.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
Sweet.
Was yesterday Monday?
Yeah. Big day on ESPN Plus.
Huh.
We're kind of the kings of ESPN Plus.
Hell yeah.
Is that right? Where's
Nobody's
the crowd?
talking about it. Now, granted, live events.
Sure.
UFC.
That doesn't count.
I think Dana probably says we are the kings of this entire thing. And that would certainly be true. But on a day-to-day basis, I think we kind of run ESPN Plus.
Okay.
And then YouTube, obviously, big day as well. But nonetheless, you'll be hosting Everything DB presents Good D, Bad D, exposing potentially some bad play from the championship weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Darius J. Butler. Also spotlighting good play as well,
Absolutely.
which can't be forgotten. Negativity hogs publicity. Let's make sure we shine a light on the positivity. Speaking of, the most positive human we have ever met is in an attic in Ohio right now. College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of Ohio, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk. Oh, got a haircut. Holy hell, this guy looks good.
Haircut day.
Wow. Holy hell. What a rocket over there.
Wow. I had to, in honor of Tom coming on. Tom looks so good. I had to try to get a cut, man. Tom was great. Did you expect to keep him that long?
No, and his people didn't either. There was some text messages going to Connor in the middle of that thing, and then that's on us. We'll assume he'll never be back, but if he is, we'd love it.
Yeah.
But have to take every conversation with the Tom Brady as like, let's get everything that we possibly can right here because we have no idea if this is ever going to happen again. He was glowing. How about his lighting? How about 4 ovens behind him?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I mean, he is crushing
Chef.
it, AJ. He's crushing it right now.
I mean, I know what is he not involved in? He seems to be involved in everything and meshing them together in business, and now it's nutrition, like everything that's going on. Like that dude is busy.
So he's single now, I think public. We don't know, but has a little bit. He's retired. Mm-hmm. He's potentially and he's a guy I think that has to remain. So like he was just I think in Australia yesterday.
Like 30 hours ago.
Throwing dimes to
I
Russell.
saw him can complete a ball to Volkanovski as well.
So Volk wasn't moving. It was a great catch by Volk. But this one right here, the rugby player over there. Watch this. Look at all the old whites that are in between. Strike!
Oh,
I mean, there's yes.
Yeah.
In the line in which he threw that ball, guy running, and rugby player is going to make the catch. Obviously,
right.
It's going to be a body catch, but that is going to make the catch. There's probably 50 whites apparently there that could have got hit in front, and then right behind that row. That could be
That's a broken nose.
Football right to mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, what if someone would just stood up accidentally? They weren't paying attention. They stood up and got
I got to
stomped
pee.
right in the temple.
Boom. Good pass breakup.
Yeah.
Good pass. Yeah, he would have found it.
Yes.
He would. His ball seemingly, has eyes in this entire thing. But he's elevated up on a stage too, so it's not just like the same. But he's still spinning. That was in Australia. That was like 36 hours ago. And then he flies all the way back, has the no bull launch, comes on this particular program. I think he's a guy that needs to be active mentally. And I think whenever I brought up the San Francisco 49ers potentially trying to bait him out of retirement, and this is how it's going to be until he's 60, I think whenever there was the retirement, there wasn't a retirement, it's like he has flipped the switch and is completely locked in and focused on everything that's happening in this next chapter of his life. And that Fox Booth talk that he kept going back to, he's heard what everybody said about how he's potentially going to be. And buddy, I am pumped to hear him now after that conversation with him in the booth, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to out-prepare him. That was very apparent listening to him speak and everything he's talking about. And that's what, like, if you hear sometimes, like, old stooge execs sometimes will say, oh, if you have to prepare like you're still playing football, but you have to prepare for your job in the media, especially if you're doing games, they'll say. And I think that's good advice. Tom seems like he is keeping that in mind. But also, Tom's play-by-play guy is going to be Kevin Burkhardt, correct, who's been working with Greg. Kevin is awesome. He is unbelievable. I think he could be you can put Kevin with anybody and he'll still make them feel comfortable and kind of put them in a spot to succeed. So I think it's going to be a fun booth to see that and also see what happens with Greg.
What do they say? They say Kevin Burkhardt could work with an orangutan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they say? If he had to.
I believe it.
So you get the greatest of all time in there. Now, we all would like to see Greg Olsen go to a place where 30, 40, 50 million people will be able to watch him call a game because he is phenomenal. And I will assume that they'll get that figured out. I just assume that'll get figured out by people. Now, now's not the time, Pat.
Well, you might as well.
Might be the time.
Smart people at all these networks making really good decisions.
Of course.
For a really long time.
Yep.
But there's this next generation, right? We got a chance to meet them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of falling into positions of decision makers at some of these places.
And Olsen's undeniable.
Bingo. Yeah. They'll make the right decision.
Yes.
Maybe.
So what do you want him to do?
Well, I'm not saying it.
I got an idea.
Connor, we're not doing it. We're not doing it again. I don't care how
I'd love
it
to hear it.
He already said it, so you can just go back and listen to it. We're not doing it again.
Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football.
I heard that. Oh, okay. Well,
But I still love Chris. Don't get me wrong.
You could slide Collinsworth into Football Night in America.
Boom. Jeez. With his boy, with his sweet,
they're just saying it
boy.
because Chris is getting up there in age.
No, I'm not even. I'm just saying if you were to do again, if Collinsworth's on Sunday Night Football, I'll be happy because he's great. I love listening to him. But Olsen needs to be a number one somewhere. Period. It just and I know life's not fair. I understand that, but you cannot move him to the number 2 booth. Pay him $7 million less and just be like, no, sorry,
Yeah, hey Olsen, you did better than seemingly everybody.
Yeah, everyone loves you.
But now, whatever the case, we are excited to hear Tom. Thankful he joined us. Also pumped that Harbaugh is back in the NFL. And I don't know if you saw in the pregame show where Harbaugh was chit-chatting with Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher and Harbaugh, I mean, the amount of...
2 peas in a pod.
The amount of, going back and forth was beautiful television. I watched that CBS show. They had no lights on at halftime, obviously. Couldn't see anybody. Did J.J. Watt say anything?
No. He had a lot of good things to say.
Did he? Because it felt like they were doing hey, must have 6 passes on everything.
Oh, they did that.
But the ball was just getting passed over who looked so cool in that jacket, and he was bopping in music there. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know if I heard him say anything. What is the Burnley owner? You did? I didn't.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of people up there, man. They only have such a short amount of time as well. It's tough.
Yeah, we're talking about replacing people. Maybe that conversation should start taking in there, and let's maybe let J.J. Watt speak.
I'd say
a little bit more in that whole thing. But Bill Cowher's not who we were referring to on that particular set. No. But Bill Cowher and Harbaugh started chit-chatting, and Bill Cowher's first question is how hard of a decision was it for you to leave the Michigan team? Because Cowher's a guy who loves his team, loves his players, loves whenever you build a culture. And here's what Harbaugh had to say, and then the back and forth between Bill Cowher and Harbaugh was absolutely beautiful. Not only are we lucky, obviously, that Tom is getting in the booth and traveling and doing all that for the NFL, Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL is a beautiful thing, and it was completely on display in this convo with Bill Cowher.
Yeah, it was tough. I was torn. My wife, kids. I love Michigan, but I love the NFL too. And there's no Lombardi Trophy in college football. And
valid.
Yeah, I got so many sands left in the hourglass, and I want to take a crack at that. And there's nowhere better to do it than with the Los Angeles Chargers, Susie Spanos, Dean Spanos, Ed McGuire, John Spanos, and this great quarterback.
Oh yeah, so have you talked to him?
I have, and I met him, and Derwin James. I mean, pros, these guys, Keenan Allen. But I was a little starstruck.
Yeah. So maybe some of the Chargers are out there have not talked to you or met with you yet. What's that first meeting going to be like with Jim Harbaugh? What's the culture you want to build with LA?
I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to reference this right here. We work together, we win together, and it's worth it. I mean, the hard work, the sacrifice, the pressure, all of it. Why would somebody put themselves through that? Because the rewards are just so darn good. And you can see that today. And what a football game we're going to have today.
Bill, Shaquille O'Neal was the DJ outside. Ray Lewis had Raider coming in here. T-Pain's performing at halftime. This entire city has come together. The reward of working hard and being a great team is 100% worth it. And you can hear it in Bill and Harbaugh there. They're simpatico, obviously, the way they view things in the coaching lifestyle and the traits that they have to just make people better. But you can't help but listen to that and just get super pumped for the Chargers yet again. Herbert has to hear that and think to himself, okay,
thank God,
I got a guy. Yeah. Because he was I was starstruck meeting Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert hearing that, and I know he's super humble and quiet and obviously handsome, but he's a human too, and he hears that, and the team hears what Harbaugh's saying there. It's I'm pumped he's back, and if you're a Chargers fan, you got to be ecstatic about what has happened here.
Yeah, but don't you think also at the same time, I know if I'm looking at someone, whatever the coach may be at whatever level, if you know they care and that they're super passionate, that's all that matters. We're okay, you don't have to like the personality, whatever they are, but if you know this person is all about ball, I think you love that.
People don't care what you know until they know that you care. And Jim Harbaugh, I think just kind of, I just made it up. Patent, trademark. Yeah, nobody's ever said that before.
Get that Z.
Dump it, actually, so nobody says that.
Quick. Yeah,
dumped. Foxy, dump that, please.
Dumped.
Looking at Cowher's face, looking at Harbaugh, I was yes. It reminded when Cowher was on here a couple weeks ago, and how juiced you get listening to him get so passionate about football.
And he wanted to call them Chargers, but then he almost said San Diego, I think. So they just dropped with LA. But you saw that chin starting to go out, and he's what's the culture that you were looking to set out there? Harbaugh's had success everywhere he was coached. College, NFL, one of the only humans in the history to be able to accomplish that feat. Now, do I think some NFL coaches that have only been in the NFL would be able to have success if they went down to college? Yes, I do believe that is the case, but we don't see that often. Normally, it's college coaches trying the NFL, but I think it's the way he's just always himself. Every answer he gives, it's That's Jim Harbaugh.
He's not guarded ever either. He doesn't feel guarded. A lot of times you hear NFL coaches speak, you're like, man, just what do you think? Like, we need to know what you think, not your talking points that you think you should say.
No facade. I think that is the reason why all of his players love him.
Yeah, football guy through and through. Obviously, a football family. You mentioned it. Instant credibility. He's won everywhere, and now it's not like a guy just coming in from college with a great college resume or a coordinator just getting a job, and now it's their first time in front of a room with grown-ass men. It's a guy coming off a national championship in Michigan. Impressive, very impressive national championship at that, and then now you're coming into the league, and who was it? Greeny talked about, how he was talking at the funeral about, T's and P's, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, whoever died.
Justin Herbert, and then for him to say,
a lot of people have died, by the way. Rest in peace, everybody.
Rest in peace.
Not everybody. There's assholes out there that have died.
Yeah.
We don't want them to rest in peace.
Bummed out.
We want them to rest in hell.
Decent
Some people.
Normal people to good people.
But the good people, I mean, but then you start reading back, like, are they good in their
What
era?
is good?
Or
What is
our
good?
era?
Yeah, what era were they good in?
Anyways, rest in peace.
Good.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to people that deserve
we don't judge. We're not here to judge.
There's only one thing or person that can judge us, AJ. You know who that is.
So rest in peace to the people that are deemed good.
Correct.
By the people that are it's
only one
by their gods.
We just want to make sure that is on the record from our program.
Absolutely.
We would like people to rest in peace.
Yep.
Not everybody, though.
No. Hell no. There's some people who are like, rest in hell, rest in piss, pal.
Rest in poop, bitch.
Okay, hope that happens to you. This particular human, we don't know who it is because Greeny didn't tell us.
Probably a good guy.
Greeny just said dead guy.
We need to find out.
Funeral. I got to talk to Harbaugh.
Yep.
Rest in peace to that person. And we think.
I mean,
If Greeny and Harbaugh were at the funeral, good person.
Okay, you're right. Rest in peace to the person that died that had the funeral where we heard Greeny kind of reiterate the convo he had with Harbaugh, who Harbaugh just basically said, I got starstruck when I saw Justin Herbert. That's a huge deal.
That's huge, and it's probably going to be the best quarterback that he's had a chance to coach. And we always talk about it. If you don't have a quarterback in this league, once again, on that AFC side, you don't have a chance. So I'm excited about that Harbaugh-Herbert marriage.
There's no Lombardi in college.
Nope.
I think that's a pretty good explanation on why he's the only coach in the history of college football to win a national championship and then go to the NFL. Already got this one. Are they giving Lombardis out down here if I win 2 or 3 in a row? No. Okay, good. Well, I'm going that way. I just love the way this guy operates. They say quirky, Ty. I'm pumped. I hope we get more quirky guys coaching football because it feels like he loves everything about it, Ty.
I think it's easy to say someone's quirky when there's really no way to describe. Because, we say, one of one a lot. Like, Jim Harbaugh is truly one of one. Like, he is the only guy who's like that. And obviously there are other coaches who kind of fall into that. But at the end of the day, he's an NFL guy. He is. He's one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, sure. But he's an NFL guy. He's meant to coach in the NFL. And I think a lot of people who see him now, or the younger people, they forget this guy played in the NFL for 15 years. He was a quarterback in the NFL for a really, really long time. He's meant to coach in the NFL. He's meant to, and it is. That's the last thing he has left to check off his list in his coaching careers. He's got to go win a Super Bowl. He's meant to be here. He's in the perfect spot right now.
AJ, this is sports media, baby. Welcome to it. How many years will it take for Jim Harbaugh to win a Lombardi with the Los Angeles Chargers, AJ?
How many years do they give him, you think? Let's say they go 3 years and they make the playoffs one time in those first 3 years.
That would be considered a massive failure for a Jim Harbaugh-led team, I think.
Yes.
I
think he needs to win one within 5, you're saying?
I think he needs to win a playoff game within his first 2 years. They need to win at least a playoff game in the first 2 years. First year, we don't know. I think personally, the way I'm going to approach this particular season is first-year guy. Now, what D'Amico was able to do.
Right.
They got a roster, though. I mean, they got some players. We'll see what happens with the cap and everything, what they have to do, but they have some studs out there.
They're also in the same division, and also what Antonio Pierce and the Raiders were able to do. Sean Payton another year in there. They're going to have a new quarterback, though, so, who knows how that whole transition is going to
go. I think if they don't win 10 games next year, that'd be shocking.
You think first year Harbaugh's expected to...
Yeah.
That's tough, though. Because
I don't know.
Hefty expectation.
I think that's probably an expectation he sets on himself, too, just with Herbert. And then, obviously, they're going to lose some guys. But I just think from outside looking in, it's hard to separate what he did in San Francisco and what he's done since he left there. It's this guy's a winner. I expect him to completely turn that place around and win at least 10 games next year.
I hope that's the case because I love the Chargers fans. I love the Chargers team. I love their social media team. And I love Jim Harbaugh. So I hope it's an immediate thing. But it feels like his culture is you might have to build, you might have to build that a little bit. And I think
but players know that. Don't you think the players that are there and the players that are coming there, they kind of know what Harbaugh is, and they kind of understand that coming in, I think. And he already has a little bit of clout there, and he comes in and he's himself, and they see that he's good, then I think they buy in.
So let's assume that roster is just filled with dogs then? Like, we'll just assume that, those type of guys are already on that roster?
Well, no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
And in college, you can get, transfer portal. You can get, and it took him a while at Michigan to get good. It's like, I feel like Harbaugh has to figure out who his guys are on this roster, and he'll be able to do that, and then get his guys in there, which is why I say we should give it a year at least. Give him 2 off seasons of finding who his people are. But you're right. With how successful he's been, how big of a deal we've made it, it's like you got the
quarterback, bro. You have the number one piece you need. You have your quarterback.
And I like the GM hire they made. At least we have no idea who the guy is or if he's good or not, but at least he comes from Baltimore. He knows
Harbaugh.
He knows Harbaugh, and he knows the type of guys that have winning. Baltimore's a winning organization. You know the type of guys that fit and stuff like that. We always say this about the GM hires. We have no idea, but at least
no idea that guy existed until Shepard said his name.
But he's coming from a good spot.
Great tree to come from Ozzie Newsome, Costa, and now he's coming from that tree. And Harbaugh kind of named who those guys you think going to be: Herbert, Allen, Derwin James. I think they're pretty top heavy right now with their roster. So obviously you got to build it out and definitely build that culture because his personality and that identity that he's building is definitely, I assume, is going to be much different than Brandon Staley. But remember what the expectations were for Sean Payton coming back this year with Russell Wilson. The expectations were, hey, they may knock the Chiefs off. They may do this. They have a great defense, all that. So I think the expectations will be high. I think that 10 win in a playoff, a playoff win in his first year.
I talked about this watching the Detroit Lions in the first half against the San Francisco 49ers about how, I put a tweet out that was fan bases are going to have an unrealistic expectation that they're going to be able to turn around their culture like what MCDC, Brad Holmes, and the Detroit Lions have been able to do. Now, I immediately was filled with people. What about what the Rams did? What about what the Houston Texans have been able to do? It's think about where the Detroit Lions were and what the Detroit Lions were. For now, what they are known as, from what they were known as for generations. Forever. This is not a normal. Chargers similar.
Yeah.
Chargers very similar.
Definitely.
If Harbaugh turns this into a tough, hard-nosed team that you're expecting to win the close ones late, to be mentally tough enough to make it, it's that has not been the Chargers' MO for a long time. Not that it was the Houston Texans. I'm not saying that. Or the Rams before they went all in and did that whole thing. But just to completely flip a culture, a city, a mindset is not normal. What MCDC and Brad Holmes have been able to do, and Spielman, is abnormal. That is not regular. But it's that's what the Chargers are hoping Harbaugh is able to do. That's why they're bringing in a Harbaugh-like person to bring in the personnel.
Yep.
And it's now, I guess the blueprint has kind of been laid by the Detroit Lions. Yep. Before them, San Francisco 49ers with John Lynch looking for the same type of football. It's can you do it? Can you not? History tells us more likely not than yes. But it's Jim Harbaugh.
Bingo.
Are you betting against him, AJ?
No, I would not bet against him.
Absolutely not. I think that is just the right move. What was that?
Well, if he's playing the Chiefs, I'm betting against him. But I mean,
Chiefs are getting bored during regular season. That's already the story if they win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to focus enough during the regular season when the games don't matter? Is Patrick going to be able to play whenever there isn't 100 million people watching going forward because of how much success he's had? That'll become the conversation. But I think, that AFC West
murderer's row
is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. And those teams now feel like the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Buffalo Bills felt for 20 years with Tom Brady in there. And that sucks for them. I'm so thankful we're in the AFC South right now. But then I see C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
It's not going to be easy to win the Super Bowl no matter what division you're in. But that AFC West seems to be quite a kitchen that is hot right now.
Yeah, making them a real contender in the AFC is a massive problem. Because you think about the teams now and how good they were. We didn't even have the Bengals in there because Joe Burrow got hurt with Jamar Chase. We know what they do in the playoffs. Like there are so many different squads. It feels like now, at least going into next year. And sure, we can do the Chiefs thing, and when it'll matter when we get to the playoffs. But there are legitimately like 5 teams in the AFC now where you can say they're going to win 10 games in a playoff game.
Speaking of the AFC, before we get to the NBA with Big Perk, Justin Tucker of the Baltimore Ravens has spoke out about the incident that happened before the game, before warm-ups, before warm-ups, with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
For those that don't know, the way it works is each team's kicker goes to the other team's designated warm-up area on the field. And for me, it's usually about 90 minutes before kickoff. So I've been doing the exact same thing for 12 years. Never really had a problem with anybody. Yeah, that's just kind of the way we've always done it, and the way kickers around the league have always done it. And I saw Patrick there trying to warm up and get some drop backs, so he asked me while I was on the ground stretching, like, if I could move my helmet. So I happily got up and I moved my helmet out of the way. At least I thought it was enough out of the way. And then Travis comes over and he just kicks my stuff and he throws my helmet. And I just thought it was all just some gamesmanship, all in good fun, but they seem to be taken a little bit more seriously. I'm totally willing to let it all go, but I just wanted to explain that that's just what I've done for 12 years, and it's not like I'm out there trying to be problematic. I'm just trying to get ready for the football game just like they are. I
appreciate Justin Tucker covering it. That's GOAT, by the way, right there. So that's Hall of Famer, 12 years. Yeah, I've been doing this the same exact way. And whenever I talked about this situation the other day, I had a lot of people saying, no kickers do that from the goal line. It's like, you're telling me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's when,
that's the internet.
You see stuff like that and you're like, there's some just lost causes completely in this entire game and how it all goes. And I think Justin Tucker alluded to what I kind of alluded to, where it's like, that's a conversation that would normally take place. I appreciate that he said, me and Patrick talked. I thought we did this. Travis Kelce certainly did not think that was the case. And then he said, I'm willing to put this behind us if you want. But if not,
big
if Travis Kelce, wants to handle this, Justin Tucker ain't scared of anything. I love that there was a little bit of drama added before the game between 3 GOATs, that are taking place. I like that it's been settled and handled, and I appreciate people learning more about things about the NFL that they've never heard of before, AJ.
Oh, absolutely. If this is a regular season game, I don't think this happens. I think they talk it out and it's a little bit easier. We had a lot of animosity leading up to this game, and I thought it was great. Didn't you? I thought for sure there was going to be more pregame situations, maybe a couple ejections even.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on...
Not with these guys, but other guys. I know they're not kicking. I know Patrick or Travis getting kicked out.
A little scrum. Some DBs got into it.
Yeah, there was a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Snead.
Yeah.
I always enjoy, the pregame shenanigans.
It's awesome.
Some people have been ejected from games before it even started, because warm-ups are too jacked up.
Of course.
I need to go punch a guy, who's wearing a ski mask right now while I'm shirtless in shorts, just to let him know that today's going to be a long day. Well, it's not going to be a long day for you because you're ejected before the game even starts.
Years in college.
But my team in West Virginia, the amount of people that lined up at the 50 to fight us, it just felt like it was an every other week thing. And our locker room was about it. Like it was one of those, some teams have guys that are like, yeah, we are going to be chippy. And then some teams are not like that.
Yeah.
And normally in the heightened moments is where you find out who's what. I think the NFL would like to see none of it, but it's just a natural course of action that sometimes when there's a lot of money on the line, a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes, and people are being questioned, they feel obligated to kind of check early. And I love it. The NFL hates it.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
A lot of testosterone out there, a lot of egos. When you got position groups warming up and another position group comes out, you either got to run around them or through them. You make that decision, and the guy in front of me is running through them. Shit, we all running through them. And then, you deal with what you deal with. But, save it for the game.
Save it for the game. Also, if kickers are going to be getting in fights with quarterbacks, I'm here. I'm not against it.
Yeah, let them fight.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I am 100% here for it.
As a defensive guy, I'm 100% against it. All right, we gonna stir the shit with Mahomes and Kelce, and we gotta go out there and guard them and play against them. That's cool. You kick, hey, move your fucking helmet. Get it.
I knew it.
No.
You can just feel it.
He's too zeked up.
Yeah, he's zeked up.
He's too zeked up about the whole situation.
You feel it coming.
To that point.
Should have stopped me.
To that point, in between quarters, we had a field goal on one end of the field, and then between quarters, we had to walk down to the other end of the field. And some D tackle, massive man, 330 pounds, said something to me about my Twitter account. Said something about my Twitter account being terrible or something. And I looked at him and I'm like, man, I never get to talk shit to anybody. You know, like this is, and I used to be able to, whenever I wasn't a kicker or punter, be able to talk shit to people. So I fired back, okay? So we're talking 65 yards of walking between me and this guy. And I'm saying a lot of things to this guy that I've just had in the chamber for, I don't know, 5-6 years of being a kicker or punter, and he's fighting back, and he's starting to get a little bit upset. Like I'm starting to see, I'm starting to get this guy a little bit. So I go down to take a knee to do the field goal, you know, and this guy screams something about running through my face, and the left guard who was standing right in front of him goes, "Are you kidding me? What, are you blocking this guy?" And I go, "No, you need to though. It's like,
he's gonna kill me."
You know, this is, and then obviously he ends up getting flat backed by the guy. The guy walks by me the whole thing, and then as we're walking off the field, he goes, "I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. You really did it, didn't you?" And then you didn't have to do anything. So you're right. As the DBs, I assume the kickers do not need to be motivating anybody on the other side. But if Justin Tucker starts fighting people,
then what?
I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. Joining us now is a guy that none of us would want to fight. We saw his high school jersey earlier today, hanging on a wall.
Yeah.
That thing's a size 14X, okay?
Yeah.
That thing would be a dress on 6'9" human beings. This dude's massive, played in the NBA forever. A lot of people say he's incredibly racist, but what we say is he is the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Perkins. What up, Perk?
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up? Hey, look, I haven't been on here in a while. Happy New Year. I feel like we can say Happy New Year to the people that we love and care about until the beginning of February.
Yeah.
You stop.
Okay, so it is January 30th, so we're still in the New Year month. So, hey, Happy New Year, Perk! Happy New Year, Perk! Oh, yeah, 2024. This is a beautiful thing. We appreciate every chance we get to talk to you. And obviously, the NBA is starting to ramp up more, especially with football kind of coming down. And the big story for me is I saw this alien block a shot last night just by jumping and catching it. And this is obviously hilarious. That is like a high school kid playing with like an elementary school kid. So I see this video, and then I ask Connor, big Celtics fan and follows the NBA. I'm like, so are the Spurs good? Because they got one. Spurs suck.
So bad.
Spurs absolutely suck. How has this first year been for Wemby, aside from just making ridiculous plays and everything? Is he going to be a guy? Is he going to be good in the NBA, or what's going on?
He has exceeded expectations.
Okay.
Like that block right there was Bill Russell-ish. Is that, yeah, Bill Russell-ish. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right, but think about this for a second. I strongly believe, and I said this before, in 3 years, Victor Wembanyama is going to be the best player in the league on both ends of the floor. So anybody who's trying to win the MVP right now, any player that's out there trying to win the Defensive Player of the Year, they better get their shit now. Because in 3 years, it's going to be owned by Victor Wembanyama. He's that special. I mean, look. The Spurs are horrible. Right? It's so bad that Greg Popovich got to stay filled with joy in press conferences, making jokes to take away from how bad this team is. But Victor Wembanyama right now, he's my Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Hey, me too, because I'm seeing him do stuff that I don't normally see from the NBA social media. We got to call you back. Our end has a connection issue. We will right now. Wembanyama, though, he said he's better than expected. That's bananas, because going into the draft, I did not know he existed. I learned a lot about him, and they say this is the guy. And now his team's 10-37. Is that what I saw? But he's just making highlights every single night?
Yeah, what was it called the other night? The Sham God? Is that the movie he pulled off the other night? A little hezzy inside out with the one arm. It was he's a walking highlight reel. Now, is the rest of the team any good? No.
Do they want him to be good? Is it one of those situations that you were kind of calling early? Is that still the narrative about the San Antonio Spurs?
I don't know if it's still the narrative, but there have been some clips of the rest of the team playing basketball without Wembanyama, and they're bad. They're real missing layups. There's some very egregious things happening on that Spurs team.
There's also been a lot of Mike does a pop and Wemby coming out one-on-one, like him coaching him in the game, and like that, it's like really cool content. Wemby's gonna.
So they knew this was going to be 2-3 year projects.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes, and then let's build the team around them.
And San Antonio, unbelievable basketball market. So even though they're terrible, I'm assuming those fans are still kind of showing love to the team. And once they do get good, because they will, I mean, Perk's right, then they're going to be, like what the Warriors are probably.
Some of the videos, he's taking 2 steps from the 3-point line.
It's crazy.
And then not even jumping and dunking it, just sticking his hand up and just putting the ball. That seems to be cheating, AJ. I don't know. That's quite an advantage, it feels like.
Imagine thinking about going to the hoop when that guy, that guy's going to be down there. What am I supposed to do?
Joining us back again is a man who said that Wembanyama is about to win the Defensive Player of the Year pretty much every single year and the MVP in about 3 years' time. Big Perk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Perk.
So Perk, whenever he's doing this, obviously his hands go all the way to the rim, and then he's able to take 2 steps from the 3-point line. All we need now is for them to build a team around him. That's great. And has this been the idea since jump for the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, I mean, Pat, look, he's like me, right? He's eye candy.
Oh.
You know what I mean? When I step out in the world, I'm eye candy. That's what Victor is right now. Like you're hearing the rumors that a lot of players want to go play with Victor Wembanyama. So like he's gonna attract guys that want to go and say, you know what, let me get there to San Antonio. I don't know how true the rumors are about, Trae Young, possibly going to San Antonio or getting back to DeJounte Murray. But guys want to play with Victor, and they should. He's a guy that he's so passionate. He's so fucking passionate. He cares about winning. He cares about his craft.
Yep.
That when they get there, it's going to be a different story. And I'm not trying to disrespect the guys around them.
No.
But they're just not that damn good.
Early in the season, as the F-bomb count is to 2 on this particular glorious Big Day Tuesday, we appreciate you, Big Perk. At the beginning of the year, we were seeing like them choosing not to pass him the ball almost, and then there was a clip of like him wide open coming down the paint, and they don't pass him the ball, and he fakes like he was going to dunk it. I assume Pop doesn't love that type of stuff from Wemby, but is that still happening, or
no?
Go ahead.
No, you're starting to see a change. I'm pretty sure Pop addressed it, but let me tell you what ended up happening for young guys. You got to realize the Spurs had, I believe it was 2 national televised games last season. They're over double figures this season, and it's not because of the guys who were on the roster last year, it's because of Victor. So when guys get an opportunity to play on national television, then all of a sudden it's the time for them to show their friends, the world of who they are, and then they start, somewhat ball hogging and missing a bigger picture. Let me tell you something. So when I was 2008, I'm on the Celtic team, right?
Hell yeah.
And I knew we had like 38 national televised games. Damn. And I wanted to get my shots off. I wanted to do my thing. Doc Rivers called me in the office after the game. He said, you need to know your damn role and know who you are. People are not turning on the TV to watch you. They're turning on the TV to watch Paul, KG, and Ray. And look, although my little feelings was hurting, I got sensitive, my big feelings. It was the truth. It was the truth. We want to watch superstars on national televised games.
And the more you win and do your role and play well, the more national televised games you're going to have, and the more it's going to go around for everybody. So it is like zooming out the big picture. I want to let you know, any of those Celtics teams that I would have turned on back in the day, if I would have seen you hucking up 40, 50 shots, I would have been there for it.
Yep.
I would have stuck around. So you tell him he was wrong whenever he was telling you that whole thing.
Well, if you would have been there, you would have definitely been ducking from all the bricks I was. I'm just saying. Let me say this to y'all. I watch y'all show every single day. I watch the Pat McAfee show every single day, and I can't tell y'all how y'all make me so proud, killing the Brock Purdy critics. What else do this man have to do? Now, football was my first love, right? Yeah. That's what I did in Texas. Football is my first love.
Hell yeah.
I watched football, then basketball. But I'm watching this man and I'm watching him get criticized and I'm watching him lead this team to the Super Bowl. I'm watching him make passes on time, on target. I'm watching him run when need be, scrambling, getting first downs. And I'm just saying to myself, what else do this young man needs to do to make sure that his name don't get critiqued on a day-to-day basis and we give him his praise like he should?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Perk. He's white too. You just said that. You know that. Whoa. He's the man though, honestly. It's his second year, Perk. It's his second year. He's still living with a roommate. He's still living with a roommate in an apartment that's tiny. This guy's a starting quarterback of a Super Bowl team that's going to get 130, 135 million viewers. It is phenomenal. He's only going to get better, we all assume. I think the world will appreciate hearing you that, Perk, hearing you say that. Go ahead, AJ. And thank you for the love, by the way. That's very nice of you. You should not watch his show. It sucks, Perk.
It's real. No, it don't.
Well, first of all, Happy New Year to you as well. Staying with football, how do you think this? What do you think about this Super Bowl? Obviously, Brock Purdy, we hear you're a big fan of his, as we are, big time. How do you think this matchup goes with the Super Bowl coming up now in almost 2 weeks?
I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win by a field goal. I believe the Chiefs win. That damn Patrick Mahomes, man. I mean. His leadership skills, composure, I don't even want to get into the whole game managing and game changer because he's both. That duo between him and Travis Kelce, that leadership between the both of them, and you just see the team like galvanize around that. Like to be honest with you, I actually like Travis Kelce setting the damn tone before the game and throwing Tucker stuff all off the sideline saying my quarterback, because he came in and said, you know what, today we're going to bully the bully, right? And he set the tone right there. And all game long, I saw Travis Kelce leading down the field with hell of a blocks in guys' faces, getting into scuffles, and all of a sudden that gives that energy, man, to the rest of your team. Like, we here. And I'm telling you right now, I love the 49ers. I think it's going to be must-see TV. You know, Taylor Swift might as well perform. She's going to be there already.
You're right. Hey, we could steal a Taylor Swift show in the middle of this thing.
I'm just saying, she might as well give the people what they want. But I'm going to say this. It's going to be a dogfight. But I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, I could be a receiver. He gonna make me look great.
Yeah, well, hey, with how big you are, by the way.
Yeah, look out.
Tight end down the goal line.
My God.
Oh, fake block. For what? About half a second, 2 seconds, and then just Big Perk with those paws.
See it both.
You would look like Wemby on our field. You would look like Wemby on our field out there. And whenever you talk about picking the Chiefs, their defense with Spags this year is show stealing almost. And you talk about bullying the bullies, like obviously Travis Kelce walked in all black. Remember that with the whole thing, like kind of setting the tone from the beginning. But their defense, what they did to the Baltimore Ravens, I don't think anybody was expecting. Speaking of defense, though, D-Bud has a question for you, Perk.
Yeah, being a former defensive specialist, every time I look up, it seems like somebody's dropping 50, 60, 70 in the league right now. I know in the NFL, at some point, you know, kind of that Thanksgiving mark is when things kind of turn up a little bit. When are y'all going to start playing defense in the NBA at this point in the season? Or is it going to happen? Is this something we just need to get used to, 50 and 60 pieces every week?
No, I'm not about to get used to it. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. And look, I don't want to knock anybody that went out there and scored a 60-piece or a 70-piece wing dinner all flats. I don't want to do that. But at some point, the pride has to kick in, right? And the rules have to change. Like, the level of physicality that the NBA don't have is why the game is so easy for guys to score buckets. And it's like, oh, okay, he scored. Let's hurry up and get it out. Let's push the pace. Let's go try to score on the other end. Like, no one has pride no more. And some of these games, man, it's embarrassing to watch. Key point. Coach Fitch for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns dropped, I believe it was 62 points, and they lost.
Yep.
He came into his post-game conference and he ripped his team, talking about how they disrespected the basketball guards, talking about this is not how the game's supposed to be played. And right there, it should have sent a signal to everybody in the NBA, all the NBA fans around that we have to clean this up. Like it's like damn near playing AAU basketball, huh?
Perk, wasn't it getting to the point, if I recall, and this is just outsider looking in, watching kind of how it's going, there was some international basketball tournament that took place. Maybe it was the Olympics. And we were all watching it, and it's super physical, like the way it played.
Yeah.
Then the NBA almost started becoming that, right? Didn't it? It almost started becoming that. Now it's going the complete opposite direction, seemingly from what you're saying and what everybody else is saying, although I've not watched close enough, because whenever I've gone to games, they've been playoff games, and the guys are bang underneath. Seemingly with the highlights, I saw Luka walk pretty much, like dribble casually as if it was a pickup game at LA Fitness for a layup on a night where I think he dropped 70 or something that particular evening. Is it because guys are being forced to play 65 games now, so they're giving less effort on the defensive side? What do you think is the reasoning behind it all? Is there rules? Is there different rules now for defense? Like, why do you think this is the case?
I mean, you're not allowed to really get physical, right? Like the game, the way the game is officiated, it is heavily favored towards the offensive player. But still in all, man, it's a certain level of pride that you got to have about yourself. Like, so many people, are mad at Dylan Brooks, right? Laker fans, like, oh, he's just a dirty player. No, this is who he is. And when you watched him play the Lakers last night, he jumped up the game. He made it physical. He was into LeBron. It was just like a beautiful thing to see. You watch the New York Knicks, by the way, who's my favorite team in the NBA right now. Jalen Brunson is my favorite player in the NBA because they get it out the trenches. Like, to score over 100 points on the Knicks, you really got to be doing something. But that's a reflection of your head coach. If your head coach is not in that locker room holding guys accountable, constantly going over these defensive concepts, then your team is not going to be good defensively and guys are not going to care. Think about this for a second. In 1 week, I believe we had two guys go for 60 and two guys go for 70 plus. Come on, man.
The hoop's getting bigger. I think the hoop's getting
But
bigger.
I always say this, and people get mad at me because I always critique a lot of guys. Like, they come in and, I got a sore big toe. I'm out for the night. And I'm sitting up here watching football, NFL players play with, broken toes and cracked ribs and, dislocated elbows and shit. And here we are sitting on the sideline because, we got tightness in our hamstring. Like, this is the reason NFL players call basketball players soft. It's because we are. And we have to change that narrative about ourselves. Like, I'm glad to see a lot of guys like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George actually playing a lot of games. I'm glad to see Anthony Davis only missed 2 games this season. Like, we got to start flipping shit around. I'm sick of that, y'all soft, y'all could never play in the NFL. Well, it seems about right.
Well, you should hear what the NHL guys are saying. Yeah. the NHL dudes, they got broken femurs, and they're out there doing...
They die and try to get back in the game.
Yeah, actually, what was it? How many stitches in the...
Was it like 50?
57 stitches in the face in the first period, back for the second period. Like, there's just levels to this shit, but certainly the NBA has been painted with the narrative of, obviously, freak athletes, phenomenal what they do, but... not a lot of, battle-tested, adversity overcomers whenever it comes to soreness. But I will say, in the defense of the NBA guys, and you had to experience this, so I don't want to speak out of pocket, like the schedule's bananas. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more running involved in it. Everybody's huge. So, like, the joints... Okay, don't make excuses. To hell with them.
Hey, listen, no. Guys are getting paid $60 million a year.
Play.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, all right, got it.
Money.
Got it. Yeah, got it. Yep.
Okay, and then, past that. Look, we didn't hear Kobe Bryant complaining. We didn't hear Larry Bird complaining. We didn't hear Michael Jordan complaining. We didn't hear Magic complaining. We didn't hear Tim Duncan complaining. Guys like that, right? So you have every generation of NBA players that passed the torch to somebody, and then it was their responsibility to carry that torch and then pass it along. So you got to think, like Magic now was making $1 million or $2 million a year. Jordan was making, $2 million a year. To his last couple of years, he made 30. He set the bar for guys to start making double figures a year. Those guys held the torch to start letting guys today start making $60+ million. You have one job, and that's to go out there and play the game of basketball, man. I don't want to hear the excuses.
Hell yeah, Perk. Hey, as a fan, I want to let you know I love everything you just said.
I had to get that out.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Proud of you, buddy.
Hell yeah, Big Perk.
Proud of you, Perk. Way to let it out. A couple questions about the NBA that you're talking about so fantastically. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Perk. I mean, not to just pile on here, but a guy that really never misses games, Ben Simmons, finally came back last night, and he played unbelievable. He played 18 minutes. I think he damn near had a triple-double. Do you think he's somebody that actually might kind of get moved to one of these teams that are contending for a title, because his time in Brooklyn has been suspect, to say the least? And how do you feel about the fact that the Brooklyn Nets are kind of making a little bit of noise in the NBA this year?
Will he get moved? Absolutely not. He will not get moved. First of all, contenders and Ben Simmons should never be put in the same conversation. Now, that's number one. I'm happy that he's back on the floor. And what I realized, and I had to say, you know what, this is who he is. I had to come to the realization that Ben Simmons is who he is. So trying to set the bar for Ben Simmons to be an all-star caliber player or an all-NBA caliber player, he's not that. And I know he was the number 1 draft pick, but what Ben Simmons is he's a really, really good role player. And that's okay, right? He got his max contract. He's probably gonna play another 10 years in the league. But the expectations for Ben Simmons were too high. And rightfully so, because he had the hype around him. But we have to lower those expectations and just let Ben be Ben. You know what I told the producers on NBA today?
What's that?
I said, can we go this whole season without talking about Ben Simmons? We haven't talked about him one time.
All right, a little goal for the NBA squad. I know this is probably a dumb question about Ben Simmons as somebody that's watched on from the outside. Is he shooting with the wrong hand? And that has probably already been talked about, I assume, by the basketball worlds, whenever he was not able to make a single shot for a while, right? Wasn't that a thing? Like, can we not?
Yeah, but Pat, I don't understand. You have an entire offseason to figure out what hand you go shoot with.
Looks great. A whole life to figure that out, let alone.
Yeah, your whole life. To be honest, his confidence has been shot. I don't know when it happened, but his confidence, he is allergic to the basket. And that's okay, but it was lost sometime throughout the past couple of years. And that's okay. He's just not who we wanted him to be or expected him to be.
You said contenders and Ben Simmons should never be in a conversation together. And then you said he's allergic to the basket. Mm-hmm. And you pointed out, this guy's lost his confidence. I don't know when. You're not the only person.
It's the truth.
Exactly. Hey, listen, you got to face that when you're a professional athlete and you're making a bunch of money. That's the game in it all. I think we're all pulling for Ben Simmons.
Come on, Ben.
Figure it out, Ben.
Bring it
Figure it out, Ben. AJ has a question for you.
Perk, what's your expectations for Doc Rivers with the Milwaukee Bucks now?
To be fair, I feel like this. This is the first team that Doc had that he has coached since he's left the Celtics that is championship ready, because he has Giannis and because he has Damian Lillard. Now, with that being said, I don't think Doc is going to fix the entire problem. He fixed half of the problem, but they have to make some personnel changes before the trade deadline, because they're too slow at the guard and wing position.
So the Bucks suck, Dame Lillard goes over there. I didn't know. I'm learning this right now. This is happening.
It's taking a little longer than they expected.
They're not good over there with the Greek Freak and
30 and 13.
Dame Dollo.
30 and 13. I got rid of
but it was fool's gold, and I kept telling everybody that, and that's why they fired their coach. They had to stop. Name me a coach that gets fired with having a 30 and 13 record. They had to stop the bleeding because they are so horrible defensively. And when you have Giannis and you have Damian Lillard, it's we're going to reach the conference finals or we're going to reach the finals. You're expected to win it all, especially when you trade away a valuable piece that you won with in Drew Holiday. So when you think about them bringing back Chris Middleton, bringing back Brook Lopez, having Bobby Portis, they still have their core. Your defensive mindset should be already there as a professional. You shouldn't need a coach to tell you that. So obviously they wasn't on the same page. But when I think about all the legit contenders, you have the Nuggets. They'll beat the Bucks in a 7-game series.
See you tomorrow.
The Celtics will beat the Bucks in a 7-game series.
Right.
The Clippers will beat the Bucks in a 7-game series. The 76ers will beat the Bucks in a 7-game series. And right now, the New York Knicks will beat the Bucks in a 7-game series.
You like the Knicks the most, you said. That's your favorite team in the entire NBA.
Oh, I
Celtics
love it
fan.
because they get it in the trenches.
Celtics.
They're like offensive linemen, man. They get it in the trenches.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We like that toughness too, don't we? You know,
Yeah.
especially in New York. They need it. Didn't they just lose Julius Randle, though?
Yeah,
He'll be back. It's just a little separated shoulder. Pop it back in place. Do a couple, you know what I'm saying? Arm things, straighten up the rotator cuff. Yeah, he'll be back in about 4 weeks. But that's all right. We got Jalen Big Body Brunson.
Hey, NBA guy's tough. You're Julius Randle.
Yeah. Well, Jalen Brunson, they said, was too small to be the leading guy in the playoffs. That was Becky Hammond. said
Coach Hammond.
Well, I have respect.
But imagine that, right? Imagine saying that a guy that won the National Player of the Year in college, back-to-back national championships, can't compete at the highest level. Help Luka Doncic go to the Western Conference Finals. Like, this guy's averaging 27 on 48% shooting.
Jeez.
And you talk about game changers and game managers, he's the combination of both. And there's only one other person that I would put above him that could do that's the combination of both, and that's LeBron James. Jalen Brunson is special. Watch this game.
Okay, that's a huge comparison, I think, as somebody that hasn't been paying close enough attention to Brunson. Let's talk about the guy you compared him to there, LeBron James. LeBron James, we saw him get hit in the face last night by Dylan Brooks, who you said, hey, this is how this guy plays. The Houston Rockets wanted that on their team, and obviously they get a big-time win. They won the mid-season, in-season, the super season.
The NBA Cup.
The NBA Cup, the super-duper cup, okay? Hang the banner. They did that entire thing. They've just been terrible ever since, and now from what I'm hearing and reading on the internet is going to have to make a lot of moves at the deadline. It's like, is this every year for the Lakers? And what happened from super-duper NBA season mid-thing to now, and when is LeBron going to win another one? The whole thing.
Well, let me say this. The in-season tournament was great, right? Great job by Adam Silver. I love Adam Silver. But the Lakers had the easiest pool in the in-season tournament, and they had to beat the Pacers and the Pelicans in order to win it. Like, think about that for a second.
Pacers.
Pacers are hot.
Okay.
Pacers. Hey, this ball goes in. Pacers are good.
Yeah. No.
Son of a.
No. The Pacers are good. The Pacers are good. Now that they added Pascal Siakam, I'm not quite yet ready to anoint them as, title contenders, but they're going to make noise in the postseason. But let me say this.
Spicy people.
It fooled everybody. And what ended up happening is that now you look at where the Lakers are right now, and all of a sudden it's like, what happened? Well, what happened is that they lack athleticism at the guard position. Right? You gotta have athleticism at the guard position. D'Angelo Russell, yes, he's been balling, but he give up so much defensively. So you move LeBron James to the point, and now he has the ball in his hands majority of the game, And now all of a sudden you have your 39-year-old senior citizen bringing up the damn ball, wearing on his body, the workload. Anthony Davis has been phenomenal. And to be honest, they're just not good enough, man. They need a third option. They need a third option. I mean, a guy that could go put up 25, a guy that could score 50. They need that, especially in the West.
Who would that potentially be? Who are the names that are potentially floating on being moved?
Well, to be honest with you, it's no one that's going to take them over the hump right now this season.
No chance.
Like, no one that they... Like, people say Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine not going to really take them over the hump. Now, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what could be magical, right? The Lakers are struggling. The Warriors are struggling.
No.
I mean, people just keep saying that Steph would never do it, but I just want to know how much is Steph going to take with the Warriors struggling, with all the distractions, with everything that's going on, before he had that conversation with the front office and say, hey, what are we doing? Like, does Steph have the kahunas to say, I want to get traded? Boy, him and Bron James and Steph Curry, wouldn't that be lovely?
Adam Silver just stood up in his skims and was like, wait.
But he wouldn't do it. But Steph wouldn't do it because Steph is not that type of guy. He is Golden State. He's not a vocal type of guy, but it makes so much sense to me.
Okay,
So much.
are you the only human saying that, or is that something that's being talked about in the basketball world as somebody that hasn't paid close enough attention? Because what you just said, that seems like a big fucking deal right there.
Yeah, I'm the only person saying that.
Okay, all right.
And I, my mind wanders at times, but I'm just saying, like, it could be perfect.
Yeah.
It could be perfect.
I want to let you know, that would be the Lake Show. Are you kidding? That would be the Lake Show every single time. I mean, everybody would be all the way back. Now, a team that obviously you know a lot about. Tone has a question for you.
Perk, did I see you say that if you put Joe Mazzulla's brain in a bird, that bird would fly backwards? And what exactly? You don't like Joe Mazzulla leading the Celtics? What's going on?
So well, I did say that. I did say that. But here's the thing. When I was actually breaking the game down, the Celtics had just lost to the Denver Nuggets.
First time,
right? And what happened is that the Celtics shoot a ton of threes. Like Joe Mazzulla, his philosophy is we're gonna shoot more threes than you. That's our game plan. That's how we're gonna live or die by the three. And so what I said you have two versions of Joe Mazzulla, right? You have the Joe Mazzulla that when his philosophy is working, he looks like a great coach. And then you have the other Joe Mazzulla that when it's not working, he's just standing on the sideline, and it's almost if you take his brain and you put it in the bird, it's going to start flying backwards. And the reason I said it's two Joes is because they don't have one in the middle. Like, he's not willing to switch it up when it's time to, right? So it's either all the way right or it's all the way left. Whoa. And that's why the Celtics look horrible in their losses. Like, in between, maybe you say, you know what? Let's put Jason Tatum, who's 6'9", 6'10", on the low block with great footwork. Let's go away from these threes. Let's post up a Drew Holiday, who's the underrated post player at the point guard position. Let's utilize that side of it, and let's play the inside out game. Like, he never goes.
You want
like,
more adjustments? You want more adjustments out of Joe Mazzulla?
Yes. I would love it.
Coach Bill Stewart, rest in peace, in West Virginia. That was one of his. If a bird had your brain, it'd fly backwards and whistle Dixie, I believe is because I remember it was said to me no less than 75 times throughout my 4-year stint over there. And what it's saying is not forever, but in this exact moment, you're a dum-dum. And that's all you were saying to Joe Mazzulla, who's a young coach out of West Virginia.
But I gave him credit on one hand. I just didn't on the other.
And you were asking for that third hand there. You know, we just need that. We just need that one that kind of evolves. I assume he's going to do that. Joe Mazzulla's got a big brain.
All right. All due respect.
Yeah, with all due respect, this guy, I'm watching him on the sideline when we're losing, and I ain't seeing fucking shit.
Like an idiot.
Is there anything else going on? I respect it. Are they going to win it? Who's going to win it all as of this moment right now?
You know what? I actually got the Los Angeles Clippers to win it all.
This is the dream of Ballmer. Remember, we got toilets and we got a wall, and he spent a lot of money to put this team together, right?
Can y'all imagine Steve Ballmer at the parade? Can y'all imagine it?
The pool party, too.
Y'all have to. Hey, Pat, look. If the Clippers win it, y'all got to bring Steve Ballmer on the show.
We'll have Steve. They don't win it. Yeah. We'll have Steve Ballmer on the show. Every time he's in front of a microphone, Steve Ballmer just all right. The toilet speech is one of my favorite since the beginning. By the way, this guy's been jacked up.
Let me ask you a question though. People like, if you're worth that much money, why wouldn't you be so damn happy? I would be happy as hell all day long.
A lot of people looking for a lot of people looking for reasons to be miserable these days. I do appreciate that Steve Ballmer's doing the complete opposite, Big Perk. Agreed with that. And they're doing well. Good for the Clippers.
Yeah,
it's been like 4 years of an investment now, right?
Yeah.
With Kawhi, Paul George,
and Harden comes in now, and
they have a complete team.
He's playing point, right? Harden's playing point guard.
Westbrook to the bench. Yep.
And he's six man of the year again, Russell.
No. I would take Norman Powell. That's over him. That's on the bench over there for the Clippers. But when you talk about their depth, they're not missing anything, right? So if you have to go against Jokic, or you have to go against a Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns, then you have Big Zubac, you have Plumlee, you have Daniel Tice. They're deep at the center position. They got athletic wings. You got Russell Westbrook coming in off the bench as your backup PG. They got Trey Mann starting. He's the dog. And then you have this kid, Coffee, who's a young stud. And then you have Ty Lue.
Coffee?
Who I believe is one of the best coaches in the game. And it's all getting, the pieces are falling in place. PJ Tucker hasn't played a game in the last month and a half. That should tell you something. Because PJ Tucker should be on the contender playing quality minutes.
They're getting him ready.
Yeah,
for meaningful minutes. Down the stretch. You said Coffee? That's a Flint Tropics? Coffee? Is that who we're talking about? Andre 3000? Coffee Black?
No.
The inventor of the alley-oop?
Yep.
You got to check him out, though.
I will.
You get a moment after the Super Bowl and everything clears. Check them out. Check out the Clippers and watch the young man Coffee.
Are you coming to Indianapolis for the All-Star?
Yeah, I'll be there Friday. Thursday night.
And then you're leaving immediately afterwards?
Yeah, I'm leaving Friday night. Getting up out of there. What am I hanging around for?
The Thunderdome, maybe? Huh? Come put some shots up?
Us?
In the Thunderdome?
I definitely will challenge Pat to a game of horse. I definitely will do that.
Horse.
Well, you see that I'm getting bulked up right now, and we got some Thunderdome games. But we would be honored to have you through here, Big Perk. Legit.
Yeah, I'll stop by. All
right, you're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, legend in the NBA punditry, known racist. Put over Brock Purdy, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Perk. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Big Perk.
Fellas, thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you. Love that man.
He's the best.
Love that man. All right, let's get to a break. Yeah, he was labeled a racist for like 5-6 months.
Yeah, that was fun. Last year.
Yeah.
It was very recently.
It's crazy how the sports media coverage world can go.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's allergic to the hoop.
That was
allergic to the hoop. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Ben Simmons and the contenders should never be.
His confidence is down. I'm like, hopefully he doesn't see this clip.
I don't know why.
I wonder why. He needs to get that confidence back. This guy's allergic to the hoop. I mean, trash bag, dumpster fire. Terrible to watch.
Oh. Looked so good in the offseason. Pickup runs.
Oh, yeah. He was shooting righty, I think.
He was shooting threes.
I think he was shooting.
Was he shooting righty?
No, he was shooting left.
Was he?
Hitting mid-range.
I don't think he's figured it out.
So he was just so athletic and so good. Australia, I think, right? LSU?
6'10", running point,
Just so athletic.
Rookie of the year.
That, like, nobody was like,
what happened?
Hey,
he didn't have to shoot.
We should figure out how to put the ball in the bucket so that whenever the big moment comes, you have some form and technique behind you. Is that what we think kind of happened with Ben Simmons?
It's all between the ears, I think, with him. And I think Fultz was one of those guys, too, the one pick. Just kind of had the yips. But it was one series where he had a chance to go up and he just passed it off to NBA. I feel like from that moment, it's been all downhill. But we know
because he didn't want to get fouled because then he'd have to shoot a free throw.
Exactly.
I remember that.
And Fultz, the Sixers ruined him. I mean, if we can recall them they tried to fix his shooting form. It was comedy. But Simmons, he never had to. So when he came in and he had immediate success, he was unbelievable.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if this is real or not, but I had seen something along these lines and also video of him shooting with his other hand. And it's almost like a Tua situation where it's like, hey, him shooting the way he's shooting professionally just doesn't look natural.
Nope.
And then he goes the other side. I think I saw a video, and I didn't know if it was AI or not, though. Because that's an easy that's an easy flip. And I'm like, man, it looks much...
Yeah, but I think he's got more power from the left-hand side.
Makes sense.
See, that's my issue in the batter's box.
Exactly.
I'm much more natural left.
Yep.
But I don't got any power.
Right.
I need
you hit for average. You hit for average. Yeah. It's right, and then you hit for power left.
Other way around.
No.
Other way.
Oh, I thought you were power left.
No,
I thought you were natural left.
Dong shot right. Spray left.
I thought it was the other way around. Gotcha. Okay. Slap hitter. Cool. Yeah. You're slapping down third and getting to first.
Yeah. Lost slapping. Slapping wood. Slapping wood.
That's right.
A lot of slapping last night with Gunther.
Oh my God. Is there Kofi cut his ass open too?
He certainly did. Those shots, like you feel them.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, who the hell? I'm not taking one of those.
Oh, no. Thanks. From the ring general?
Ring general.
He's had that title for a long time.
Yes, he has.
500 plus days.
Longest of all time.
Yeah. A lot of longest of all time happening right now.
Yeah, we're talking about legendary runs.
A lot of goats,
A lot of legendary runs right now.
Yeah, Tone.
Take it in.
Seth freaking Rollins last night made quite a case.
Yeah.
For the World Heavyweight Championship to be the one.
Won me over.
That Cody Rhodes. Compelling case.
The blue collar title. Yeah, that's the one I want.
Did you see the suit that he had on? It was tailored to the title.
So cool. A crop top.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Some wrestling marks who have. I too, Mark, by the way. Not a bad. That's not. I know it has been used.
Sure.
Not a shot.
That is not a shot. That is wrestling fans, I will say, because I guess that term has been slanderized and everything like that. I saw him say a couple times, like, is this guy going to talk through everybody's promos? It's like, it's hard for me not to go, ooh, when somebody, you know what I mean? Yeah. When somebody says something. There's some good words spoke last night.
Great.
There was tears in the ring last night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Heartfelt night.
I got to figure it out, though. Again, it's such a different flow and beat than like anything else.
Looks like you guys are having fun.
Blast.
Great to see you back out there.
I had so much fun out there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There's a couple times I looked at Michael Cole and I'm like, what is happening? And then it's like coming back like, oh yeah. They have picture-in-picture now.
Mm-hmm.
Did not have that at one point. So getting into picture-in-picture, out of picture-in-picture, obviously new people in the headphones. It was fun, man. I'm loving it. Oh. And we're in St. Louis, Missouri next Monday.
Hell yeah.
It's a much shorter flight. Pretty pumped about that.
That's nice.
Florida's
Michael Cole, is he on some nutrition kick or some like health kick?
He actually is, yeah. I think he's on a plan.
Looks great.
He looks great, man.
Looks very good. I'm very impressed, and his energy is phenomenal. He had to get a bunch of new suits, though, because he's no longer a big, fat slob.
Sure.
Hopefully he saved him.
Which is good for Cole.
Does he still boozing like a fish?
I think he does still throw him back when he has to, but it's low-carb stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Michelob guy now.
Smart.
Yeah, smarter drunk, as opposed to just whatever drunk.
Okay.
That's a big step in life, and we're all proud of him. Way to go, Cole.
Good work.
The absolute GOAT. But it was an honor to be back there. Thank you to everybody for the hospitality. And, yeah, let's go. Let's have a good time with this entire run. I'm pumped about it. In the next hour, we'll go through overreactions that we missed yesterday from around the internet. And then we will also have some good D and bad D.
Hell yeah.
From everything DB. Darius J. Butler. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5.
What's that coming down the track? What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. It's the mean machine in red and black. Nothing finer in the land. Ain't nothing finer in the land. And a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
Then you go to pick up a box and a bong falls out of there. What, do you have anything to say about that situation, or what do we got going on?
I hope it's not a bong, first of all.
Whoa. The head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart.
In the SEC, you got to do that every week, man. It's
No, easy this year.
Like I said, there's an open invitation. Call Greg Sankey, come down here and get you some of this SEC if you want it. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, I'd like to make a small contribution to the Marine Corps Scholarship Fund. Give at least $15,000 and see if Richard will match.
I'll match. $15K from
Match.
us.
Awesome.
$15K from you. We need Dick Smith, FedEx CEO, $15,000. That's $45,000 to the Marine Scholarship Fund. And I believe today is the 248th birthday of the Marine Corps. So, University of Georgia legend, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Stafford.
What's up, guys?
Shout out to this man winning $1,000 on this Feel Good Friday when AJ Hawk.
There's a few older white ladies that told me I did not deserve to wear the G on my chest. And they said I needed to get out of Chuck's Seafood Restaurant. This is David Pollock's town. I told her right back to her face, I want to let you know, you can say and think whatever you want about me. I love this Georgia Bulldogs team.
That's what I want to hear.
You should take this in. It's pretty cool.
I don't hear that.
You need to, because you've done a lot here that has been fantastic. Have you ever thought anything bad about a kicker before?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Trust what I taught you while we were off air and just let it rip.
Yeah, Hot Rod is getting a little bit too many tips.
Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia. Georgia.
Oh, you're hyping it up.
Georgia.
Let's go. For $85,000 in drenched jeans.
Do it.
Any place that says we are the drunk, obnoxious fans, and any place that barks at everybody when they see them, that's a town for me. I got the Bulldogs winning big today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
He's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, this kid.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how
Owen!
you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you, Owen. I'm taking her on the
And also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen.
New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this big day Tuesday. And that's no bull. January 30th, 2024, hour 3 of the program, brought to you by Topgolf, starts now. Football! I think I got it in.
You did.
I think I got all the words in. It's a lot of words. We had a title, and that's no bull, the date, and shout out to our friends at Topgolf that have sent us fluffy golf balls to add to the Thunderdome's rotation. Woo. They also sent us a big-ass tee that we could put on here and said, hey, anything you think of for potential giveaways, we would love to be a part of. Shout to Topgolf right now. You get the Topgolf app and order through there. You get half off Monday through Wednesday on golf.
Ooh.
It's golf. It's not golf. It's Topgolf. For a limited time, get half off golf Monday through Wednesday when you book in the Topgolf app. Offer not valid at the Topgolf Las Vegas location.
Makes sense.
That's smart.
But there's a lot of other locations, obviously, across the country. It's a beautiful time. It's a great time. And D-Bud is literally doing it right now.
Get my Giannis on.
As we speak. Yep, there it is. Half off. That's not bad.
That's a great deal.
Tonight.
That is great.
You kidding me?
Speaking of great deals, SeatGeek has a $500 off SeatGeek has a $500 off big game ticket.
Right.
Bingo.
Special going on right now. All you got to do is PMS 500, I think. Is that do we have the...
It's a lot of money.
Pat 500?
Yeah, because it was PMS playoffs, but now it's not the playoffs anymore. It's a big game.
$500 off Super Bowl tickets. Now, the prices are insane, but $500 off.
What do you got to do? What do you do to get it?
You just put in the code Pat 500. A lot of great communication happening through this entire thing. I probably should have known this before we went live, but whenever I learned it this morning and heard of it, I said, that's fucking bananas. $500 off right now at SeatGeek for the big games tickets coming up next weekend between the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers whenever you use promo code PAT500.
Okay.
That's a lot of fucking money off tickets.
Yeah, a ton of money.
Hey, shout out to SeatGeek, shout out to Topgolf.
It's like 8 seasons of Panthers tickets. Think about it like that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Games.
That is an NFL team, and that is who, you should certainly compare ticket prices amongst whenever you talk about the NFL as a whole.
Right.
$500 off and then half off. Hey, companies, we appreciate you guys doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Topgolf, SeatGeek.
Speaking of companies, we're a lucky one to be able to do this every single day, and people spend time with us. People also interact with us on the many platforms in which we post, and X seems to be our real home, and we're very grateful for it. And every single Monday, and although we missed it yesterday because I had to hop on a plane, every single Monday we send out a bird call. We say, hey, listen, NFL fans, we just got out of an NFL weekend. Why don't you go ahead and use one of these posts as a therapy session? Why don't you go ahead and let all your emotions out? All you got to do is utilize the hashtag I don't want to overreact, but... And we got some great ones coming out championship weekend. AJ Hawk, Ty, you went through them yesterday. Became the number one trend in the United States.
Yep.
Thank you to our people.
Thank you, people.
For having a good time. Thank you to the NFL for obviously being something that a lot of people have reactions to, especially on a Monday. What were the reactions about mostly, Ty?
It was pretty easy yesterday because obviously Ravens fans just demoralized, wanting kind of wholesale changes, just kind of gobsmacked actually that they got beat. I think everyone thought the Ravens were going to go to the Super Bowl. Certainly their fans did. And then on the other side, the heartbreak that the Lions fans had.
Well, let's dive into them, shall we? This one's from Tiny Bean at Smallest Bean. In case I didn't get it across in my name, Tiny, I am actually the smallest bean. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Harbs has to go. Ravens have the same story every time. They are the AFC version of the Cowboys, and it absolutely stinks being a fan. Get Big Mac as our new head coach and let Harbs go be his brother's lapdog in L.A. Wow, I did not expect this, AJ, at all.
That's what so, Ty, when you were scouring through these, like the Ravens fans, were they more pissed off or they were more like heartbroken because they thought they had it?
Pissed off, 1,000%.
Well, we just read one where the guy said to fire Harbs. What do you think, AJ? I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though. I assumed they'd be more frustrated. Like, hey, we still got a squad. We still got Lamar. We like our coaching staff. We like what we have, but this was a missed opportunity. I assume that's how they all work. Not all of them.
Distraught feels like a proper way to describe it. I did not expect Harbs.
No.
I did not expect that
I
at all.
never thought that was an option even.
I knew they wanted to fire him last year because
Really? This is a Steelers fan talking right now.
No. This is 100% true because they have 2 playoff wins, counting this year's. I think since the Super Bowl win, I could be right. I think it's since the Super Bowl or in the last 7 years because our franchises are in very similar playoff winning situations until this year. And I know that he was on because when I was going through the Mike McCarthy hot seat, Harbaugh's name popped up a bunch from last year. So I know they wanted him, or he was on the hot seat last year, but I thought what would happen, again, being a 1 seed this year, I thought, would normally cool things off. But if you don't win.
He's like an institution almost in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't even think that was a thought. But hey, only one team's winning the Super Bowl. We got Lamar Jackson. We should be the team that is in conversation to win a Super Bowl every year. When you don't make it, your fans are going to turn, especially at a city like Baltimore, where we heard John Minakakis from Jimmy's Famous Seafood say, like, hey, people live and die with the Orioles and the Ravens here. It's a blue-collar town. It's a very spirited town. Harbaugh is, I assume, an institution, and, like, he is the Ravens. But it's fascinating to hear that, even that in the NFL is what have you done for me lately?
Was it a lot of Harbaugh or was it Lamar? Was it Monken? Who got it to work?
Monken really not so much at all. A lot of Harbaugh, and then, a lot of Lamar, just like, hey, regular season MVP, that's awesome. This guy can't win in the playoffs.
Let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? This is from Cesar at Milk Fat Percent. Okay, 2%, this guy, maybe 1. You don't know. Who knows? Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but MCDC lost that game for the Lions. He's a great leader and head coach, and props for bringing back the Lions, yada, yada. But kick a fucking field goal. Who knows when the Lions get another chance like that? I saw all the players, Frank Ragnow, Aiden Hutchinson, I think Gibbs, Montgomery. Every player from the Lions said they're appreciative and thankful that MCDC chose to go for it and let them know that he believes in them just like he has all year. So fans and how players are going to feel differently about things on a regular basis in the NFL. But this one, with the way MCDC has handled this, you knew the locker room was going to love it. But boy, Dahn 3, fourth quarter, in field goal range, choosing not to tie it up. There's even some players on the team that are probably like,
all right,
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the belief.
Faith.
But also,
what do you always say?
But MCDC is going to learn from this.
Yep.
Obviously, that's all he's proven to do since he's become a head coach is grow and get better. Go ahead.
What do you always say?
Which part?
Situations are
situational. Yeah, I mean, and there were certainly some situations that called for maybe acting a little bit differently than you have all year. But MCDC proved that he is who he thought he was and who he said he is. And that's a big deal whenever it comes to earning the trust of your locker room and the culture. And I think they're only going to grow from this whole thing.
100%. And seeing the players all come and back him, that's all I had to see. I like being aggressive all season. It just sucks that it backfired in the NFC Championship. And everyone was worried, we're not going to have Aaron Glenn, we're not going to have Ben Johnson. Well, that's not the case anymore. We're running it back. So I feel okay going into next year.
How about the Lions, huh? Ben Johnson back,
Huge.
Glenn back. They have that to learn from now. You know, they've experienced it. They've seen what it could be like.
Super Bowl or bust.
Boom. Yep, I think so.
Right?
I agree.
I think that's where we're at Foxy, aren't we? I mean, especially we heard Dan Campbell say, like, hey, we may never be back. Obviously, we expect to be back. Yes, we plan on being back. But if they're not back to the NFC Championship or find a way to win a ring in the next 5-6 years, people will definitely think about those decisions daily.
Now, D, but obviously no player is going to come out and bury the head coach.
Right.
Especially if they have respect for him. Yeah, I think you should have kicked it. Next question. No next questions. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Do you hate Dan Campbell? No, I just think we should get the headlines that will come if any player said that, especially with how loud it was on MCDC. So everybody in there obviously is not going to bury MCDC as a player for that team. But the way you hear them speak and say it, there's ways to say things without saying them. They're all in on that culture up there in Detroit. And I think that is a sign for me that this isn't the last time that they get a chance to taste this potential level of NFL football. In the NFC, looking forward to, it's like, why not the Lions for the next?
That's who they are. That's their identity. They've drafted well. They've brought the right guys in. MCDC's created that culture, and you live by the sword, you die by it. And Foxy mentioned it yesterday. Dan mentioned it as well. The plays were there, so as players, your coaches, it's their job to put you in position. It's our job to make plays. So you can't, point to the coach once it's all said and done and say, you know what, maybe you should have changed up a little bit because it is the playoffs. Like, don't get to the biggest stage and switch it up. So the guys in that building love them. The people in that city seem to love them as well. So I'm all in on the MCDC train.
AJ, what do we always talk about? How coaches are like, just another game. And then week of the game, they're like, change everything.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, whoa, I thought this was just another game. It's like MCDC in the biggest moment didn't even waver. His players know that. Sucks they lost. Sucks the season's over. But I think as we're telling this tale of who MCDC is, from dumbass meathead day one to cultivator of culture year 3 to now, it's like, the guy didn't waver in the biggest spot.
100%. And it's been awesome. On this show for the last 6-7 years, you guys have talked about culture so much and how much it matters. And for me, I didn't really understand it at all. Obviously not an NFL player, but that's kind of the only thing you guys go to that makes maybe a good team a great team. And watching it firsthand with the Lions, it makes no sense what it is, and you can't really describe it and you can't bottle it, but we were talking about it with Harbaugh. It really makes the difference for the team. So it's just cool seeing it firsthand, and we're going to have that going forward in Detroit. It's awesome.
Look, you guys talked about disappointment if you lose. What are we? We're 2 days removed from it?
Yeah.
Look at them now. It's like super
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Optimistic.
Just like I said it would, by the way.
Takes time. Exactly.
Just like I said it
Gotta
would.
feel good for Lions fans.
The
right
bingo.
now, man. What? Last how many years?
Hold on. You were on the other side of that.
No, I mean, the future is bright. You still got the
He's
GM,
rare.
you got the head coach, you got the coordinator.
You see the internet, he is rare.
Yeah, he's the few and far
He's
between.
an outlier.
Are you getting killed by Lions fans for acting the way you've been acting post-game?
No, I'm getting support. A lot of people like it.
Today, probably too.
Tone Diggs does not believe that.
Well,
Tone Diggs just did a motion with his hand about a
Oh,
penis.
he's doing it. You're pulling on your dong.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He's bopping it right there.
Why?
Why were you saying he was bopping
Yeah,
it?
what's going on?
I mean, I've seen the internet too. You could see. I mean, you could say what you want to say, but
Is it Lions fans, though? That was the question.
yeah, they all have their
Wait, are they?
ways.
They're pissed at Dan Campbell. You're saying, Tone?
Yeah.
No.
Not Lions fans.
No.
We just had the best season in the last 30 years.
I don't know. Foxy does kind of live. Foxy's got a little sweet little heart. We know that.
Hey,
though,
super
so sometimes he's
Sweet little heart.
But now
So,
I agree,
he's
the
very
standard
positive.
is different.
He is a sweet boy.
Yeah.
I've seen it
He is.
firsthand. This team could have won a Super Bowl.
That's a sweet
Yeah.
boy right
so now
there.
my expectations
Sweet boy.
are higher.
Real
now.
sweet boy.
That's a sweet, handsome boy.
A sweet Lions fan.
He just got a sweet little heart on him. What a
He is,
description. Hey, Evan, that's a good thing to be said about
It is.
somebody.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
Good for you, Fox.
He's very
Thank
positive.
you.
Makes me sick.
That's how he feels too, and that's. I mean, I assume it has a lot to do with the fact that their coordinators are getting poached.
Bingo.
If Ben Johnson is a head coach somewhere else today, I don't know if he's singing the same tune. Neither would I.
Man, the Philadelphia Eagles, they had a full year of
yeah.
Bingo.
not knowing what they were because they had to change over the coordinators, even though a lot of the pieces seem to be the exact same. Now they already have such a head start going into OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
We can add wrinkles. We can do this. We can kind of build on what we've already put in here for the last 3 years, 2 years. How long has Ben Johnson been there?
This will be, next year will be year 3 of him calling plays.
That's unheard of in this modern NFL, especially if you don't have an offensive head coach. It's like, and then Aaron Glenn on the other side, they've only continued to get better and better.
100%.
They can continue to build in OTAs. It's just like a.
Got to invest in those corners, I think, this offseason. That'll probably be a big point of emphasis. They signed Mosley from San Fran. He got hurt towards ACL. Sutton, kind of had a decent year. They need a stud out there on the outside.
And they'll find it. From what we've witnessed from the Lions is they've made good decisions on who they add to their team. And it's like the familiarity with the scheme, the familiarity with the humans, it's all coming back. With this added moment and callous on the Lions, it's like, why not the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
Come on.
They got to pay a lot of guys.
They'll be able to do it. Sheila Forehand.
Yep.
Chew for him.
Yeah,
Go
golf's
pony
gonna,
up.
golf's going to get a big contract. That's what everyone's kind of thinking.
I wasn't even thinking about him. With the Almond Raw, Penny Sewell, I assume Hutch.
At some point.
Like there, probably a couple of those guys in the secondary.
Hutch real fashionable going into San Francisco.
I saw a lot of people saying no way the Lions win now
Because of what he was wearing?
Yeah.
MCDC was wearing sweats.
Exactly.
And then I saw Hutch wearing super fashion. And I'm like, all right, everybody arrives at the game different.
And then Purdy dresses like me. No one can win, guys. Like, no one can win.
Yeah.
Everyone hates everything.
No, I love
Not
Purdy.
everything.
Yeah, everything.
And
Travis
MCDC.
Kelce looks so cool coming
He's
in.
super
all
fashionable.
black.
He wins.
MCDC looks
great. He's also the only white on the GQ's most fashionable human from every team.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce. Only white on there.
On IG.
That's a big deal.
Badge of honor.
That is a badge of honor. What is the fashion thing? So you just got to wear cool shit?
What do you mean by cool?
Anymore, who knows?
If it's expensive, is it cool?
Subjective.
You could wear cool shit. You could dress like the biggest asshole on the face of the earth.
It's fashion.
It's fashion.
It's all the same.
Doesn't really matter.
I kind of appreciate that we're in a time where you can dress like an asshole in restaurants.
Yep.
Because back in the day, there used to be a lot of that. You can't dress like an asshole. I am a human that dresses like an asshole. Although I don't have tank tops on every single day anymore, I certainly still have them in my wardrobe. And whenever you think about going to a restaurant, there's always a thought in the back of my mind, like, these people aren't going to let me eat here because I have a tank top on. Nowadays, I just say, it's my fashion.
It's fashion.
Yeah, what?
What are you talking about?
You know who made this?
Look at the pants.
There's no dress codes to a place. Like, what's dress code? Oh, like business casual. Okay, that's a wide range right now. You can't be okay. You can't wear that. Dude's wearing Zubaz pants, and a red tank top, and that's fashion.
Fashion.
Well, in your business casual, just happens to be tank top and jeans.
Yeah, you should see the black tie that I could have had.
Bingo.
You haven't even asked for that.
Yeah, you should have.
I mean, it could have. I could have showed you what that is.
Yeah, this is my business casual.
Yeah, because I can paint a tie onto this tank top.
Yep.
Right here.
In a heartbeat.
That goes right down the center. And guess what? That's my artistic freedom.
That's right.
Boom.
In my fashionable world. You can really drop that on anybody right now.
Yeah, fashionistic freedom. Is that a thing?
I think you
could be a fashionista.
You display it every day.
Exactly.
With your fashion.
Bingo. And I have done the same thing you have as well. Go to nice restaurants, a little risky, but you just say, like, hey, this is
King
a
of the
fashion.
Jungle right here? You're not going to want the King of the Jungle?
Oh, that's interesting. You don't like animals. I'll call PETA right now.
Wow. How are you guys treating these lobsters?
Let's see. Where are the clams at?
Hey, let's go take a look at how much grease is potentially on these. Is that what you say with your little, where's the manager?
Yeah,
You just turn
exactly.
into completely?
Nah, usually I just shut the fuck up and leave.
Yeah, smart play. You don't want me here? Cool. I don't want to spend my money.
Yeah, whatever. Fine.
We'll keep it moving. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we, from around the internet. Bob Kavoyan.
Whoa.
Legend from Bob and Tom. I don't know who took the screenshot, but they don't follow him, which
wow
is what I'm kind of realizing here.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's Mitt needs to showcase a little bit more respect to an absolute legend. Guy, neighbor of mine, friend of mine, in a couple Hall of Fames. Obviously, was co-host of the Bob and Tom Show for like 33 years, which is a morning radio show that was nationally syndicated, broadcasted here from Indianapolis, Indiana. They're the people that kind of introduced me to this entire world, almost forced me into this entire thing at the beginning of it all after meeting me, and a lot of love for this man right here. Anyway, Bob, you done good, pal.
Love you, Bob.
Bob says, hashtag, I don't want to overreact, but Baltimore fans shout abuse at Taylor Swift for ruining the NFL after the Ravens lost. Forget Taylor. The fair catch on kickoffs is ruining the NFL.
What?
Poor officiating is ruining the NFL.
What?
And going for it on fourth down when in field goal range is ruining the NFL.
Wow.
Hell yeah, Bob. Louder for the people in the back. Now, I do believe that refs have been better this year than they have been in the past.
For sure.
But boy, when there's poor officiating, it is hard not to just be like, that's the fucking problem. That is, how are they not full time in there? And I appreciate him going to bat for Taylor Swift, AJ. You know, not a lot of people doing that. And guess what? Guess what?
What?
Travis and Taylor are in love.
Amen. Real love.
Actual.
Yeah, I read the report that he's planning on getting engaged in the summer, right?
Well,
forget that.
That's not how
old news
that all
now.
works.
No.
NFL Films released some mic'd up footage of Travis Kelce. And there's one particular clip that has certainly made its way around the internet. And all the people that wanted these two to fail, and all the people that wanted this to be fake, and all these people that were wishing failure upon Tavis had to watch this video and go, maybe they're humans and they like each other and are perfect for each other. Here's immediately after winning the AFC Championship and being dominant, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Give us a path, guys. Give us a path. Thank you.
Clear way.
Give it clear way, guys. Thank you.
Tell you I'm going to enjoy it with you guys over here. I love you.
Oh, I love you.
So much fun.
Here we go, guys. Give me a path.
So now you got clear the ears. He says, seemingly, I love you. She says, I love you back. And then there is now reports, and I haven't really heard it as clear as other people seemingly have, where she says she's never been more proud of anybody ever.
Yeah.
Than with Travis Kelce. It's like, let's go! Hey, they found each other. They found love.
It's over.
In a hopeless place,
Bingo.
seemingly. Both these two at the top of their respected fields, and now they're perfect together, and they're having success. How can people hate that, AJ? How can people hate that?
Ask Foxy. People can hate anything, but what if how crazy would it have been if that was the first time they ever said "I love you" to each other? It was right there, and he just like, oh, I got caught up in the moment. Yeah, of course, yeah, I do. Here we go, and then boom.
And then she was like, I've been waiting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is the worry. Is that she says I've never ever been so proud of someone ever in my whole entire life ever. And we didn't hear an exact "I love you" back from Taylor. I'm rooting for them.
Don't be so negative.
I'm not being negative. I can't give my fucking opinions now on things without you motherfuckers saying, you just hate stuff. I was researching this shit day and night last night. Was I not? I fucking was.
Me and Michael Cole were talking last night before the show started. We're in a room. Me and Michael Cole are talking about some of the things that are about to happen potentially in the show. You never really know, but here's some things that could happen. Here's some storylines that maybe you've missed a little bit. Here you go. And in the middle of us talking, Connor goes, yes, there it is. Yes, yes. And this is in the same room. He has headphones on, so I think he just kind of got lost in his own little world. So me and Cole both turned to him and were like, what's up, man? He goes, video, Travis says he loves Taylor, Taylor loves him. It's a whole thing. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that's what you were looking for. I did not know that was currently happening. And then he goes, this isn't from NFL people, by the way. This is from Swifties. The Swifties are the ones doing all the investigating work. And he's been in on this entire thing. You're saying now, after that reaction, here we are, less than 24 hours later, and you're like, I didn't even hear her say it back. You literally flipped a chair the first time you heard it because you're like, they're in actual love. Yes. You were so jacked. I've never seen somebody so zeked for somebody else's love story to come together full circle.
Yeah, I am a Swiftie. I listen to every album. I'm a fan. And obviously, I love Travis Kelce. I am just saying, and I do believe they are in love. I'm just saying, from that audio, there are some people like, hey, why didn't she say I love you too? I've never been more proud of anybody this much forever in my entire life. There was just none of that. I believe they're going to get married. I'm just saying, in the moment, usually if it's forget Taylor and Travis, let's just say it was Mitt and Casey. And Mitt said to Tick, and he said, hey, I love you, man. And Casey, Tick, talk, whatever, fuck him. He says back to Mitt, I've never been so proud of you, man. The first thought that we all have is...
Yeah, but we don't know if she said there was dropouts.
I know. I'm just saying that's what the people were, below saying.
All right, so we'll keep an ear to the ground.
Jeez, always. I've been keeping an ear to the ground, damn it.
Yeah, you heard that video before NFL Films heard that video seemingly yesterday.
Jesus.
But we would like to tell everybody that don't want to say we told you so, but we told you so. The reason why I thought Travis Kelce could potentially be, perfect fit for Taylor Swift and who Taylor Swift is, I would assume these musicians, actors, whatever it is that Taylor Swift is dating, I've not followed close enough, all couldn't handle like, hey, I'm not the motherfucker in this relationship. This is certainly the one. Travis Kelce's a tight end from Ohio. Patrick Mahomes is his quarterback. Travis Kelce is completely cool with somebody else being, like he almost takes like pride in it. Like, this is, so I think I'm so pumped for them.
Pumped.
And to hear that on the field.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Pissed, obviously. Man.
Hey, isn't she have like a long flight back after the concert to get to the Super Bowl?
Depending upon whose clock you're looking at.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I'm not talking about Tokyo, Vegas, and the travel and everything. Allegedly, she will be able to make it back in time, and she will be at the game, we all assume. But I think she has to go right back to Australia.
Yeah, next day.
What are we doing here today?
What?
Cancel the fucking Tokyo concert. All right, let's reschedule
That Tokyo Dome?
Yeah, exactly. She's played it before. She sold it out. She'll sell it out again. Fuck 'em, okay?
Wow!
Sorry, guys.
That's a big
Sorry.
fuck you to her fans.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, fuck them. All right, the love,
Whoa!
the
They
love of her
love.
life is playing in. Now, I know he's played in a couple Super Bowls. Okay, so it's not a first time thing, but she's never been there.
Nope.
While he's been there, they love each other. We just heard it. Okay, they just said it.
Well, Connor didn't hear it.
Oh no, we didn't. But
We heard it. We heard it.
You could move to Ty's point. You could move the Australia show. That is the next day because
I bought tickets already.
Well, don't worry because they're already thinking about the
Already bought a
WWE
plane.
coming to Perth. Tony, you don't have to worry
They are. You're right.
about
You're
them
right.
being bummed. They won't be bummed about T Swift because they'll say, "Who gives a fuck? The fucking Scottish Warriors coming to town."
That's
It's
not
just
his
a
name.
couple-
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, he's
The Scottish psychopath.
He is the Scottish Warrior. That's all me. He's not the Scottish psychopath, you asshole. That's not his nickname. Last night, there was a lot of issues for me on Raw because, like, some people have new names. And, like, do I know if they have new nicknames? And I'm sitting in there just, like, wheeling and dealing. I'm like, I don't know if that's. And then during a commercial break, I'm like, still referred to as, and he's like, no, that's been over. And I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't.
Well,
You know what?
Piper.
Bingo.
Yeah, that was last year's Royal Rumble.
And she's still
doing it.
Piper needs more time.
Yeah.
By the way, we need more Piper time as we Top Golf.
Love Top Golf.
Did you see the screen there?
Yeah.
Foxy's dancing back there. Foxy's on the keys right now as if he's Alicia Keys on this entire thing. That is, hey, good work back there, Foxy. Look at you.
Yeah, so it's weird. I have to press multiple buttons if I want to go from you to the boys, or if AJ's on, if I press one of the buttons, it'll just do that. So we can't do that. So yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, you can.
Hey, you're doing great. Yeah, just tell the boys. Say, hey, boys, look alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look alive, boys. Look alive. What? All right. You guys have been really on top of it.
There I am.
You guys are really on top of it.
You know, Braxton out there.
Top Golf's going to love that. Anyways, if she travels back from Tokyo for the game and then flies to Australia afterwards, it just goes with everything we've said about Taylor Swift. The people who hate her just don't know enough about her. Fucking workhorse.
Hell yeah.
Like, absolute dog when it comes to what she has chosen to do for a living since she was young, which yet again, why finding an Ohio fuck, it's like, it's just a perfect thing. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Shout out to Bob Cavoy. Go ahead.
We haven't even addressed the dumbasses who are going to say she's using too much CO2 in the air with her private jet going from Tokyo to Vegas back to Australia, okay?
Want to walk?
Listen,
They've been saying that for years.
Bingo.
I mean, then I'm not getting into it.
Forget about it.
I'm not going to get into it because there seems to be a bit of a hypocrisy. In a lot
Oh,
of
is
that.
there? No. There's no way.
I'm not.
Those
gonna get
people can fuck off.
Okay, well, that's 10 digs. And as it says at the beginning, how everybody feels on this show does not necessarily represent how everybody else on the show feels. There it is. There it is. So we got to talk about that. I don't have an opinion, but boy, I've heard a few different ones, and it seems like they're all just kind of, but we want to let everybody know we love the earth.
Love the earth.
Save the environment.
We like to live.
Yeah.
Like to live. Now, there's documentaries that say that the earth has been changing and evolving for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I just
think the Earth
You should definitely dive into that realm. That's something we haven't really got into yet.
But then there's also, certainly stats and statistics that say we're rude at everything. So this is yet again another thing that the politics people seemingly are getting. And once again, I do not know who's winning the fight. I know I have an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
so
saving
Well,
the
that's
world.
worse. We don't know worse.
well, see, there's a whole. That's what I'm talking about.
It's not
Those
killing the
batteries.
environment, though. It's just killing little kids working in mines.
See, what are you?
Yeah.
So
Cool.
pick
Why
your
are
poison.
we-
Pick your poison.
I didn't know that.
You want to kill
I didn't know that. I thought I was told I was saving the earth
You are.
when I bought that car.
Saving Earth, killing children.
That's
So
not, see, I was not. There was a piece of information left, which I think is the.
They don't
whole-
advertise that.
Yeah.
Which is the whole thing here.
Right.
Does it-
Robbing Peter to pay Paul somewhere.
No, but also when those things are being talked about, I don't know if anybody's willing to change their opinion or listen. And stats are on everybody's side somehow. So it feels like a never-ending fight. But what we would like is for the smart people Figure it out. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? Chris English at Chris English 33. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Chiefs might as well start wearing white and black uniforms because we're the fucking NWO of the NFL, baby. Nobody wanted us to succeed. Nobody wanted us to win. But here we are, about to go back to back and make all you haters fucking cry about it. I'll tell you what, Chris. Pretty accurate sentiment here. You know, first time Patrick Mahomes has to go on the road to play in the playoffs. Is he going to be able to handle it? Is this guy going to be able to handle playing a big game away from Kansas City? He did. They're getting points. Are you taking them? Nah. The other teams have been too good. This Chiefs team not there yet. Yeah, they do have a lot of haters. And I appreciate the fact that this Chiefs team just continues to be a buzzsaw. And if they're anything like the NWO, they're going to end up with all the titles. Yeah. And we just need to sit back and relax and watch that entire show, D-Bud.
I love it. I'm excited for that heel turn they took. But that tweet, I thought he was going to go and say something about the refs. But it's good to see how he put that NWO spin on it.
Yeah, thank God.
What do you say?
I just thought that's where it was going.
With
but
the black and
he's
white.
smarter than that. So
Well, the refs, you see,
Yeah, a lot of people think they're in the
they're in the Chiefs
pocket.
camp, which is a part of the heel turn.
Yeah, true.
You're part of going into somebody else's house, stealing their joy, dancing on their faces, heel turn. Got the refs on your pocket, heel turn. Taylor Swift, biggest star on earth, is on your heel turn. So they are.
Chiefsaholic.
Chris English, jail.
What if Roger was a special guest referee for the Super Bowl?
He is every year. What do you mean?
Might.
Could you imagine him?
What are you guys talking
Connor,
about?
don't be a mark.
Every single year, he's the one that called in that hold on Juju Smith.
We don't need you perpetuating this bullshit.
Could you imagine him in his suite with a white cap on and
Oh, that'd be awesome.
people would lose their minds.
He can come out over the loudspeaker to talk to the stadium.
Oops.
Everybody,
Wrong button.
we're returning to TV in 10, 9, 8. Need big applause, big applause. Roger Goodell directing traffic the entire evening. If he's even on his phone during the game and shot on camera during the time of a potential...
He's calling Bill Vinovich. What the fuck?
This son of a bitch is doing it, which is, you know, I don't want to make now the time to do this because we're in the middle of hashtag I don't want to overreact. But I do think it's time for us to, you know, showcase a little investigative journalism. So as the refs get brought up and officiating and scripting gets brought to the forefront yet again for another probably third straight year of it being a real convo. As sports gambling continues to grow and people lose actual money on teams that they think should win or will win, and then watch them potentially get screwed, not only into a loss, but them losing their own personal money, there's going to be calls that the NFL is working against their own fans on a regular basis, seemingly in the world that we live. In the past couple weeks, there's been things telling us that the script has been leaked. This script has been leaked. Do you remember this? Do you remember when this got put out? Look at the logo. It worked in the Bengals-Rams. Is that a coincidence? How about the Eagles and Chiefs? Not the Eagles green, but it is green.
Still green.
And the Chiefs are red, huh? That could be a thing. And then that means one thing and one thing alone. Oh, they just so happen to be the 1 seeds, and their colors are exactly what this year's logo is? Script has been leaked. Script has been leaked. How about this not only being the only thing that was telling us it was the San Francisco Ravens, there was also this Publix, which would certainly know the script before everybody else because it's a grocery store. They were only selling Niners, Ravens balloons to get prepared for the big game. Publix knows people.
They do.
They're one of the wealthiest businesses in the United States of America. Obviously, grocery stores and food are a massive piece of Super Bowl parties and the Super Bowl days to make the day what it is. So Roger Goodell would certainly be giving them a heads up on who's going to be in the Super Bowl, so they sold these. And not only this, how about the cookie cake?
What? Whoa. Put it on a cookie. It's real.
Look at all those graphics. They had to make it, you know. Roger Goodell say, hey, listen, you're making cookie cakes for the big game. Here's who it is. Kayfabe. We can't be telling anybody. And And some asshole gets that and says, yo, I'm going to put this out for everybody else. Just like they have balloons, I'm going to put this cookie cake out so you can get your Super Bowl party ahead of the time, even knowing who's going to be in the Super Bowl. We got the answer. The internet has run with all of these. None of them as much as they ran with this, though. Do you remember the local news and Who Gives a Fuck Wyoming? Remember, they had the script from the NFL, and they leaked it. They leaked it. Local news.
Whoa.
Listen, I understand it's going to be 5, 8, 9, 10 degrees, a little bit of sun. Also, Roger Goodell, the NFL, gave us the script. Reba McEntire's going to be there. Ursher's going to do a thing at halftime.
Yes.
Posty's going to perform. And by the way, it's Niners-Ravens in the Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. Sorry about it. They leaked it.
How could they?
What?
They leaked it. It got out.
Jeez.
All of these things led to people be firmer believers in the fact that the NFL was scripted. And now here we are just a few days later, and it's not. Will anybody ever?
That's not the game.
Yeah, what do you say now? What happens now?
Will anybody?
Just forget about it.
With the logos.
I don't think people do. I think people think it's rigged still. They're going to take that to the grave.
Well, that's because senior NFL insiders from ESPN go on ESPN shows and they say this.
It was rigged. It was rigged. It had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. It had nothing to do with Travis Kelce. It had nothing to do with Andy Reid. Nothing to do with the way that this champion has played. It had everything to do with the NFL scriptwriters and them wanting to make sure that they got Taylor Swift back from her concert in Tokyo to be in the stadium in Las Vegas in time for the Super Bowl because the ratings weren't going to be high enough. So they wanted to make sure they're even higher for the Super Bowl. And they wanted to bring just a little extra juice to a game that, frankly, was just a flat matchup. So, yes, it worked out very well. And the NFL was able to manage to rig the game. And now Taylor Swift will be there. It's great.
Okay. So that's why I guess I still remain torn.
Yeah.
Because
if Shefty says it, yeah, I mean, he's an insider.
Well, and the best way to dispel, people from the truth is to joke about it and to acknowledge, like the NFL did with the script writing commercial.
That's right.
And then Shefty in there.
Throw him off the scent.
Now, I will say, I was just a punter, so they didn't tell me I didn't get a single script. Damn. It's a fucking bummer now that I'm hearing about it because that local news station got it. That fucking Publix got it.
Griff Whalen got it.
What's that?
Griff Whalen. Maybe that was the wrong name.
Are you talking about the fake punt?
That isn't what I was talking about, but I guess now, sure, that's what I'm talking about. I definitely said the wrong name.
Did any? Great work.
Yep, 100% said the wrong name.
But as soon as Schefter, all those things are tough with the logo not working.
Yeah.
Okay. With the local news not being,
Sure.
turns out, not real. With the cookie cake.
Oh, no, not the cookie cake.
With the balloons.
That's the craziest one.
The balloons. Think about that, because the amount of time it takes to build it and then
blow them up.
fill them all up.
Yep.
So the NFL would give a heads up for that type of thing. For all that to be wrong, I'm fucking bummed out.
Dude.
But then for Schefter to come out and just say the truth in a joking way makes me even more bummed out.
Ridiculous.
So let's just remember that maybe sometimes we're giving way too much credit to people.
Could be.
Saying, oh, they're way smarter than, because when you're saying something's rigged or scripted, you're banking on people being super intelligent. I, normally super optimistic guy, just happen to have some doubts about people's intelligences in certain places to be able to execute a certain scripting, but that doesn't mean it's not real. That's right. And Schefter kept it alive, D-Butt.
They got a half,
fucking
right?
show.
They got a half, right? The Niners made it. I think it was kind of lazy, though, just using the 2-1 seeds. Like, come on, man.
Well,
that's creativity.
That's the new evolution of this, is that the purple doesn't represent Baltimore. It represents the Speak Now album that Taylor Swift came out with, where the cover is purple.
And what year did she put that?
I believe that was 2009.
Slogan.
Yeah,
long time.
They've been waiting to use it.
Do you guys know, do they send like the balloons and the cookie cake and the news report and the logo to third world countries to use, since it's not like they do with the
T-shirts?
Yeah.
That cookie cake's getting marked down to 99 cents, going right towards clearance.
I am a cookie cake fan, and that one did look good.
Delicious.
I will say.
With frosting around the outside.
I've never
I don't
been a
like too
bad
much
cookie
frosting
cake.
on my cookie
Bingo.
cake. That
Spread it out.
Let the cookie shine.
Sometimes people get a little bit aggressive with the frosting on the cookie cake, and it's like, I appreciate it, but also frosting is going to spoil harden quicker than this cookie cake is.
True.
Especially if you keep it in there. So at the beginning, I think you get a good pop from the decoration, but long term, you're really fucking up the cookie cake.
I agree.
So let's keep it simple on top of those things.
Yep.
My daughter actually did a little cookie cake design.
Nice. Oh, nice.
It was really cool. Love fucking cookie cakes.
So good.
I don't have one.
They're awesome.
So
Cookie cake and ice cream cake dominate.
Ice cream cake.
Dairy Queen ice cream cake is pretty legit.
Oh yeah. I'm with you here, Pat.
I don't love ice cream cake. I'll say it.
It's a lot. Just like
Okay.
I don't like meatball subs because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like ice cream.
But you'll
cake-
eat them though occasionally.
Yeah.
No, not
Yes,
meatball
yes,
subs.
yes, you
What?
have.
But ice cream
Really?
cakes, I'll enjoy an ice cream cake, but there's a 5-minute shelf life on those things?
Yeah, you got to eat it.
Got to
It's
eat
got
it
to be in the
quick.
freezer and eat it.
10, 15 minutes.
Who's got the room in the freezer?
A little layer of cookie
it's
crumbles
true.
in it.
Oh,
So
man,
good, yeah.
game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah, if you eat a good ice cream cake, I'm all in on those. But I don't like the high maintenance-ness of the ice cream cake. Because the space that it's taking up, the amount of time that you have whenever you take it out of there. But if you get it when it's right,
Oh, baby.
not much better. How about the Snickers ice cream?
Oh, the bar? The ice cream
Those are
bar?
the greatest.
The best.
snacks ever.
Those are
My
great.
favorite right there.
Oh, man.
I mean, the Oreo cookie sandwich also.
The big boppers.
Or just the normal cookie
I'll go with
sandwich.
the
Yeah.
normal
Or
cookie
the
sandwich
normal.
as well. I going out of a gas station every once in a while, it'll fucking give
Oh,
me
yeah.
Yep.
All
down
right,
there.
fine.
Whole house.
in the freezer.
Yeah, right. You've never.
I think we got one of those. No, we were in Florida for NXT or something years ago. I think we all got those.
Yeah.
It got us. The freezer got us. We're like, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally on
Yeah.
the way. We checked out. All of us
Yeah.
checked out. I think it might have been even.
No, I think, was that
That was
Tahoe?
leaving Tahoe
Yeah.
before we got to the
Wherever it
airport.
was.
Tahoe, we did it this year. I
Yeah.
guess it was last year now, but that just happened too.
I'm remembering it down in Tampa as well at that 7.
At the 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that fucking freezer will get you.
Yeah, they put it.
Smart, great
some
placement.
Of some of the best placement as far as product goes.
You have a
out there.
bag. You already did the checkout thing.
Yeah.
And you're walking, and
Oh, forgot that.
Fuck.
you almost hear like the ice cream truck music
Yep.
playing in your head,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, why not? You know, I do deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and right now would be the perfect time. I got nowhere to go. I'm literally going to my car, so I'm gonna eat this within the next minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do it.
Guess I'll steal it.
Good for the ice cream business. What do we? No. I was about to say good for the business, and you're ruining it.
No, it's good for the business. I'm just saying you already have the bag. It's like, all right, fuck it.
What was the ice cream we had a couple weeks ago?
Handles.
Handles ice
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah.
Have you ever had this, AJ?
Yeah, Handles. They're in Ohio.
I think they were
Birthed in Ohio.
founded in Ohio.
Youngstown.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them here in Indiana.
sweet,
Some of the owners of the franchises brought us up a bunch.
Yeah.
So good. It was so good.
Was it like fancy stuff though? I don't like the weird flavors.
No.
Okay, good.
It was good. Yeah. People do too
Gertrude.
much. When people start doing too much.
Yeah, just give me some cookie dough or cookies and cream, something like
had
that.
those.
Bingo.
Yeah, the cookies and cream that I had from Handles was delightful. And I'll tell you what, Alice Handel, whenever she created this business in 1945 in the summer heat in Youngstown, Ohio, she knew what she was fucking doing.
Oh, yeah.
She knew what she was doing. Now, how hot was it then? Because that's what goes back to the conversation we were having before.
Not as hot.
Yeah, probably not as
No,
hot.
45, fresh off of Second World War.
Yeah, but
Earth was exploding with heat.
How come, and I appreciate your knowledge of history and timing and everything like that, and era and descriptor.
Oppenheimer, we
makes
just-
us look smart. If they say it's the coldest it's been since, that means it's happened, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hottest since, means it's happened before, right? So those ones I don't think are call for. The ones where they're like, this has never fucking happened before. Boy, those scare the shit out of me. Those ones
The
get
hottest
me.
ever.
Like, yo, this Earth's been around a long time. We've been documenting how hot this thing is. And then people are like, yeah, but how are they tracking it now versus how are they tracking it then? I'm like, fuck, you can you ever believe anything? But all I know is when they tell me this is the coldest ever or the hottest ever, a little piece inside of me goes, oh, fucked. Got it.
Yeah, but we're the caveman walking out of the cave and going, I got 103 today and fucking marking it on the wall.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I was watching something about, like, maybe they had better technology than we ever imagined.
Ancient alien?
Oh, you trying to say then they got wiped out and we had to start over?
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, there's a couple of docs that say that thing. These ones really fuck me up when I watch. I like to live in a state of ignorance. Just not knowing. Ignorance is bliss. I'm watching sports. I'm watching wrestling. I got the team. Okay, got the family. This is all we're doing. I'm eating wings. I'm eating pizza. I'm drinking water.
Right.
And, like, what I know forever.
Yeah.
And then just like there's a documentary, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, let me watch this. And then like 15 minutes in, you're like, I shouldn't have learned this. I'm gonna think about this now.
Yep.
Forever. It's like, how did they get those big ass rocks? You know?
Yeah. No idea.
How all over the place. It's not just one of them.
Look at those pyramids. It pops up in my algorithm like the people going in the pyramids and seeing how all. I'm like, man, I need to go see those.
I mean,
the pyramids aren't the only one. I mean, there's like.
Oh, I know. There's
Mexico has stuff. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's
Everywhere.
like shit everywhere where it's like, how did, I'm not answering. I don't know the answer.
No.
Pyramids,
No one
they-
does.
they don't know how.
Everybody does, seemingly, though, in that world.
Everybody
They all
does.
have
Nobody
the answer.
does.
Nobody's saying what Dan Orlovsky was strong enough to say yesterday.
Exactly.
I don't know, okay?
And he'll never say it again.
Nope.
That's why we documented it.
What was that, Dan?
I don't know, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? And then we go to everything DB, good D, bad D. Thank you to everybody that participated in hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Brock Purdy has eliminated all narrative. He is elite. The only quarterback who is undisputed better than him in today's NFL is Patrick Mahomes. The Super Bowl is the battle of the two best QBs in the league. MV Purdy will silence the critics again, says Edna, the 49ers fan. Edna, shout out to you seemingly figuring out X or Twitter at the state of life in which you are at. Your name's Edna, so that automatically makes us assume things. Then the photo you have as your avatar takes it to a whole nother level. Proper punctuation, great take. Love what fucking Edna's saying out there, Ty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw her picture. I saw her take. I said, yep, Edna, welcome to the show. You're on. It's as simple as that. And, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of waffling back and forth in terms of, that's just, that's all time. I'm waffling.
I didn't even see her reaction because that's all I could see was her.
Selfie off a mirror, flipped backwards.
Edna's a fucking dog.
That's amazing.
Edna.
Junkyard.
Edna, we appreciate you.
Love you, Edna.
Being a part of the program. Nobody's going to give us credit for having Edna as a viewer.
Exactly.
Everybody thinks we're, new age and different platforms. You think Edna knows how to fucking spell Twitter?
No.
No way.
Well,
or X.
Her punctuation. She's probably on top of it. Does she know how to use it, though?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Appears as if. Edna's a modern marvel, if you will.
Edna might have been one to stack those rocks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Built the pyramids
have
on
one
her
of
bare
those.
fucking hands.
I didn't even think about that.
Carried him.
Selfie in the mirror flipped backwards.
Yeah. That's Edna, baby.
It's innovation.
Sweet.
Yeah, one of those first ice cream sundaes back in Youngstown.
She created it.
Oh, yeah.
That might have been Edna Handel.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Edna. All right, as we get out of here, it is only right that we get smarter. Started the day with Tom Brady, ending this thing with a class in defensive scheme and strategery. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Everything DB presents Good D, Bad D.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Hey, way
Good
to
place
go.
for championship weekend. Man.
Absolutely. Let's start with some of the, there we go. Let's start with some of the bad D that you've seen around championship weekend, D. But, and we don't like to do this ever.
We don't.
But, there's only 4 teams left going into this particular situation.
Yep.
Everybody's good.
2 of them lose.
But every once in a while, you'll get got.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
great.
especially when this guy's playing.
Whenever you got bad D, you got good O, and obviously vice versa. Look, good on good. Kyle Hamilton, first team All-Pro against one of the greatest, if not the greatest tight end in history. You get a twin set. Why both tight ends on the same side. Red area, you get it out and up. A lot of people say, hey, double team 87. Look, you got the safety leaning, but where this ball is thrown, even if there was a double team, unless you get up there and vice him like they used to do Calvin Johnson, this is just throwing it up to a play, to a spot where only your guy can get it. Maybe, hey, he did the same things they did, people were saying. But it's a great play.
If you would have spiked the ball on Kyle Hamilton's head.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been a little bit different.
Stood over him.
Flexed over him, yeah.
Great play, great throw, obviously, from Patrick Mahomes. You got what you wanted pre-snap. You got him in this kind of wide look, and then you just got to out and up, almost like a back shoulder fade. Once again, put on that back hip. And look, Kyle Hamilton, I know this is on the bad D segment, but I mean, it's not
good
much.
Coverage, man.
Great,
It's good coverage.
Great.
And he turns around, too, for the back shoulder. It's just such a good ball.
Great coverage. If you run it, yeah, you can get it from here, actually. So Kyle Hamilton does a great job here. When you get this back shoulder throw and you can kind of feel it from the receiver, he goes and man turns so that he can kind of see back to the quarterback. He pause it there, like chest to chest. That's where you want to be on a back shoulder throw, as opposed to if it's over the shoulder, you want to kind of get your head around and track it that way. So once again, great job by Kyle Hamilton, but it's just good on good. And I mean, that is an unbelievable ball, unbelievable catch from Travis Kelce.
And I know you say we should get here's Tuck up there, by the way, and Kodak, I believe, or is that Lamar?
Yep.
Lamar and Zay.
Zay or Roquan?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's
Roquan. Do they have does everybody have, like, that is awesome, by the way. I wish Baltimore would have experienced a win, by the way.
Yeah.
I wish there was a chance that Baltimore got a chance because they showed up.
Yeah, they did.
They showed up and they showed out. You said you got a double Travis Kelce. Is there a chance that McDonald's said, yeah, this is good, our guy got your guy, and then there was probably a conversation afterwards about Travis Kelce maybe being a little bit different, like, hey, this guy's a little bit different?
Going into this game, even pre-snap, if I'm a DC and I got Kyle Hamilton on Travis Kelce at this point in the game, you got to be good with that matchup. You know, everybody can't get double. And this is 1st and 10. This is a rundown. Obviously, Chiefs have been running the ball. You're going to get a single high coverage a lot in this situation. If you had to pick one guy, I think this is the first touchdown Hamilton gave up to a tight end all season long. So if it's one guy in the league,
I think it was anybody.
You mentioned Kyle Hamilton's coverage ratings a couple weeks ago from Himbo. So if it's one guy in the league that you want on Travis Kelce or any tight end in this situation, it's Kyle Hamilton. But it is the league. Sometimes guys are going to make a play.
Yeah, I think that was first touchdown, not just tight end. I think that was just the first touchdown he
was
up.
Second half, he made what, like 7 straight plays?
He's straight, like not different quarters. Like he made there's
on the line, pass breakup,
Yeah.
sack, shed tag. Like he is phenomenal. Yeah,
He's a dog.
absolutely.
Everywhere in the run game, blitzing, in coverage, everywhere. You pause right here. Kyle Hamilton is actually up top. He's going to take away this low crosser from Rice. But you got the middle of the field safety here. He's obviously going to vacate it. It's 3rd and 9. Pretty much a gotta-have-it situation with Patrick Mahomes. A lot of this game, he kind of managed it. Obviously didn't score in the second half, but this is one of those special, rare plays that you don't expect the quarterback team to attempt this throw in this situation. Kind of off his back foot, little pressure in his face to MVS. Once again, not the guy you would say, hey, game on the line, this is who I'm going to. But you go to him, middle of the field gets vacated. You throw up a ball and pretty much seal this game.
Look when he releases it.
Yeah. And now you see he'll dive down and kind of take one of those crossers. Kyle Hamilton, he'll be in position to take away this first crosser. And then you have MVS running like that over route on Millette.
Is this similar to the last one where it's like, hey, if that's the one you give up?
That's
fine.
the one. Yeah, that's the one you got to give up. 3rd and 9 the game because you would hate for a guy just to run up to the sticks, turn around, you play it soft. It's just a first down. So, I mean, this is special.
Make them go the hard way.
Yeah.
Coach will say, make them go the hard way. And this is they're doing it.
And then also, hey, if MVS beats us in this situation, if it's not Rice, it's not Pacheco, if it's not Kelce.
MVS beats us on a 35-yard ball.
If he beats us here,
so be
2
it.
minutes left, 39, like, hey, hats off to you. You got it. And Mahomes is going to make these plays. This is what separates 15 from everybody else playing right now.
Hell of a game manager ball.
See, this is the one where, hey, you know what?
No, the internet's saying he's just a game manager because all of his throws were at the line of
I think what we're all remember, a lot of those people are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to remember that.
We do.
There's a lot of brilliant people on the internet.
A lot of them.
I love the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Not the
Very, very, very big fan of the internet. But I think what we've all learned is there's a lot of dumb-dumbs.
It can poison you if you let it, though, and you got to drain that out. You just got to see keep eyes on the prize.
Bingo.
Great play. And once again, the Ravens did not have a bad game. So if you pause it here, kind of looks like kind of a single high cover 3 look. We've been seeing this a lot. They're going to rotate out and go to cover 2. He's kind of going to be a deep half safety with only one deep threat. Brandon Ayuk, this is the deep pass we've been seeing, for the last few days. Actually, a great job early from this corner, squeezing it, stand on the top shoulder. I know they threw the flag and then picked it up. I think this is a great job by him turning into the receiver, stacking Brandon Ayuk right there. And once you're looking up for that ball, you can get away with that bump because you have just as much right to the ball as the receiver does. At least that's what they tell you. So he's did a great job. Obviously did everything great until letting the ball smack him in the face. And then obviously an outstanding job by Brandon Ayuk having the concentration, bringing this in. Huge play, 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. Obviously everything was going the Niners' way kind of around this point in the game.
Why is that?
Great job early. A little momentum and obviously some execution, but great job early once again from that corner. Great pre-snap look, I think. You just got to finish these plays. That's what it comes down to. Who makes the splash plays and who doesn't in these big moments.
We
big
talked
games.
about the football gods with the fumble for Zay at the half-yard line.
Yep.
Whenever we all see this catch here, and
oh yeah,
it's on.
Eba,
It's over.
if he picks that, do you think the penalty stands and they call it defensive pass interference?
No, they picked it up, right? Didn't
They
pick it
did
up?
pick it up, but honestly, I think they would have. I think they would have called it.
That's what I think.
And I think it's a bad call. I think it's a bad call because once that ball is in, and they let you get away with hand fighting, they let you get away with
Where'd
a lot
they
of
call
shit
it at?
as long as you're
Right
looking
there.
and tracking the ball. So he threw. Yeah, I don't understand even why he threw it.
He's
because,
tracking the ball already.
Yeah, he was tracking the ball the entire time, and I think he was ready for this shot. You look at where they were, 1st and 10, pretty much a max protection around
the wide
around the
receiver
logo. What's that?
Who's the wide receiver there?
Exactly. If I'm a deep look, I got as much right. We're both looking to the ball. He bumps Ayuk, and great job by 11 looking this one.
There was
in.
one earlier in the game where Ayuk was the defender as well down the left sideline to Sutton. I thought Ayuk was maybe a PI there.
Yeah,
OPI.
Yeah.
It got to be egregious for them to call that OPI.
What's that all about? How come you guys get the penalties, but not?
It's
Because
the offensive league, baby.
Same with the NBA. You heard Perk say that?
Offensive league. They want points scored. All right,
The defense is tough. We need a little bit more toughness.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Don't
So-
we, AJ? They're trying to get rid of toughness, seemingly.
Yeah, they're trying to. We're not going to let it happen, though. You know that.
You're damn right.
Hell yeah.
You're damn right.
Physical game. What 17?
We're going to bring Perk over. We're going to bring Perk. He's going to have a gig in the NFL doing something, trying to, minister of toughness or something. I think Raj would hire him.
He said 3 points.
What position you think Perk played in high school football?
Quarterback.
We saw video of him potentially playing running back, but we did not think it was him or know if it was him.
Running
Zito
back.
was
I
just
think he
showing
played
highlights
tailback.
of some random kid.
His name was also Kendrick Perkins, and he went to like a high school in Texas.
Okay, so that's another Kendrick Perkins from Texas. We saw the highlights. Dog.
But I did look up his high school. He did play against Chris Bosch at the state championship.
In football?
No, in basketball, sorry.
Yeah, he went straight to the league. I don't know if he played.
Chris Bosch, football, think about Wemby.
Yeah, same deal, red zone target.
Whoa.
Throw that ball at the crossbar.
Touchdown.
Great basketball player.
Above the cross.
What are you saying?
I'm a Heat fan. Heatles. Love Bosch.
LeBron was all state.
Not a
The
not a
Heatles.
Now,
Yeah, LeBron.
LeBron was all
LeBron's a
state.
different beast.
Did you see him playing
Westbrook,
flag?
Dwayne Wade, those guys.
KD.
Allen Iverson.
AI, yeah.
Hey, LeBron was playing high school football in Ohio and just dominating you guys, as well as being the best basketball player in Ohio. Is that real?
Yeah, I believe LeBron. I think he stopped football after his sophomore year, but yeah, up in Northeast Ohio, he was killing it.
He didn't play anybody from Centerville or Dayton or anything like that?
No, they were a different division than Centerville was, but they, I don't know, whoever they played up there, whatever league they're in.
I watch videos of him just bullying Ohio high school football.
All over.
Oh yeah, he was great. The clips I've seen, he was a great player.
AJ would have put that Rydell right in his chin.
Well, that's not how you
No,
pronounce
I
it.
would have.
Yeah.
I mean, he's too
Riddle.
tall. Is it Riddle?
Well, you said he's too tall. That means you would have definitely
chopped him. Right.
No, LeBron could do.
Think
some
about
damage. Can you
AJ
imagine
talking
that guy?
about LeBron before that game. We're gonna let a
What
basketball
do you mean?
player. We're gonna let a basketball player come into
Not on my
the
wall.
Elks house.
Not on my wall.
I don't think so. And that thing is going so fast
Trying to kill him.
to right here.
First play.
We'd have to jam. If he's playing tight end, we got to jam at the line. We can't let him get off at all because they're just going to throw it up and it's
Oh, no,
touchdown
he's
city.
wide out, AJ. He's out wide.
Yeah, we're jamming him up. We're going to bracket him. We're bracketing him out there.
They do what Roquan did and just take a running head start before the snap.
Hey, hold on.
That was
Who's
great.
here's LeBron James. Yep.
Yeah. Can you imagine trying to stop this guy in high school?
Just ran a slant.
Oh.
Good yak.
Can throw that ball 15 feet in the air if you need to. Moss,
is.
how you
There
doing?
it is.
Moss.
What's going on with Ohio high school football?
Two
I mean,
big
it's LeBron
drafted
James. What do you mean?
I say he'd have been drafted by the time he was a sophomore.
Who would you compare this guy to? Randy Moss, it said.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can see. You
look
can
at
tell
the
it's
wiggle.
LeBron there how he runs.
Oh my God. Would have been so good at the football. Loves football too. You hear him talk? Hey, how are you going to recover after this loss? I'm going to watch the NFL playoffs tomorrow. You're
right.
going to watch film rate? I'm going to watch the NFL playoffs tomorrow. It's like Bron loves ball.
Yeah.
He
Ohio
does.
guy.
Ohio guy.
Ohio guy.
People forget about that.
Forget.
Because there's a lot that has happened.
Why was he
Yeah.
playing quarterback?
Who was playing quarterback? Was that the coach's kid?
Yeah, I
AJ
thought
is just classic.
I don't know. Was it?
so. I thought it was.
I mean,
the-
why
And the one
would LeBron play
quarterback
quarterback
looked
when you could
huge,
throw it
too.
to him?
Yeah.
Well, he can throw it to himself. Lamar Jackson.
No?
thought it was the point guard of the team, of his basketball team.
He's LeBron James.
No, I don't think that kid was
Football
playing.
player.
How about him still doing it right now? You see how fucking shitty that quality was? Yeah. He's still playing right now.
Yeah, at a high level too.
It's bananas.
It's wild. It's wild.
He's a point guard for that team.
Yeah.
Stupid.
All right, Deebo Samuel, great. This is a good play design by the Lions. So they want Deebo Samuel to this flat. He's going to come behind the line of scrimmage. Ayuk's going to be on the over. So it's going to be a boot route. So when you draw this play up offensively, you obviously want somebody down here coming this way where Brock Purdy is rolling out to. Sutton does a great job with his leverage. I believe his safety gets over as well. Anzalone is in a little pickle right here. You'll see him obviously it's covered. Boom, he's taken away. He's taken away. Let me reset my feet. It's the catch we saw, the throw and catch, the juice. Juice in the middle of the field, scramble drill. Tough.
Snag.
Tough
Check
job.
down.
Play. Tough job. So obviously you hear a bunch of game manager, all the shit we hear all year with Brock Purdy. Probably if he wins 2-3 Super Bowls, you'll probably still hear it because of how talented the guys are around him. But just a great job of him obviously getting out of the original play. Okay, that's covered. That's covered. A lot of guys over here with Ayuk and Samuel. Cut it back, reverse field, make a throw across your body. Great catch, obviously, by Juice in the middle of the field.
What a phenomenal. This team's awesome.
Good players.
Why are people saying they don't want to watch them in the Super Bowl? It's like, this team's awesome to watch.
Well, Pat, it goes back to
They're dogs. They fly around. They have talent. They have names. Their defense hums to the ball.
Yeah, it's the same thing with everything. There's just fucking idiots everywhere.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe. We need to remain
for
positive,
sure.
though.
Oh, yeah.
There's more non-idiots.
Yeah, I'm positive there are a lot of fucking idiots.
Okay, but there's more non.
Is there?
I don't.
Yeah!
I don't know if I can jump on that side of the sand.
We got to remain positive, boys. You know why? Because it's time for some good things.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Good D. Good
Who's
D.
that? Wow.
All right, let's get to it. Pause this right now. So you see a lot of this in the NFL now. Tom Brady was one of the guys that made this famous. Let's get our running back out here wide. So we see if a linebacker goes out there and match, so we get an indicator on what the defense is going to be. 4th and 3, big situation. Greenlaw. So if they would have snapped this ball, if you rewind a little bit, if they would have snapped this ball with the running back out here, I believe, since I don't see any checks or communication, I believe they run the same coverage, the ball snap. Now, obviously, everything's telling us, man, you got all pro Mooney in here on the slot on the receiver, linebacker on the running back. Once the ball is snapped, Jared Goff's expecting man. Boom, you pause it, they actually come out and play cover 2. So you got Mooney out there in the flat. So this mesh route, these crossers are man beaters, especially on 4th and short, which is, like an 80+% man on defense because obviously you want tight matches. So I think him getting this zone coverage post snap definitely threw him off because now you got all the eyes on the quarterback, passing the crosses off. Everyone has leverage. He's got to get off his spot. That's where you want Jared Goff, moving his feet off his spot. He's obviously not as good of a quarterback in that situation.
Stats say that.
The stats say that.
Oh,
the
yeah.
film says it. You want to make 16 move off his spot, and that's the case for a lot of the quarterbacks. Going into playing Tom Brady or any of these great pocket passers, that's what you want. Get him off his spot.
Well, especially playing against this defense.
Yeah, great job showing one picture, and then post snap having a completely different coverage lined up. And I've seen a few teams, especially once you get in this point in the year, have a linebacker out there playing, because if you just snap the ball, he's got to be a flat defender, and linebackers are comfortable enough, especially Drake Greenlaw out there in space if he had to do it.
They would have had Gibbs, though, out on him. They show him his check go there. No.
4th and 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You could, but, that's big ball.
That would be incredible if Jared Goff just checked.
Yeah.
To Jimmy, because he's just out there to see if he's a man or not.
Yep.
Only reason you're out there. And I like that they just, kind of knew that they were potentially doing that on the other side. It's like whenever people know that the Kodak's coming.
Yep.
Put a fake fucking look out there to steal the Kodak almost away from it. Could you imagine Jared Goff just checks to a go route to rookie Gibbs on 4th and 3?
Touchdown
in the 4th quarter?
sideline.
That would be awesome.
Now, see, it would have been cover 2.
True.
So you throw the check, now you got to try to hit a hole shot to a running back with a safety over the top. So great job. That's the chess game. That's the chess game between Wilkes and Ben Johnson.
In the first half, the Lions had a 3rd and 12, and they ran the ball for a first down. I guess that was a check from Goff because he saw some unbalance from the defense. Yeah, it was a sweet play.
People were saying Jared Goof, yeah. He ain't no goof.
No goof no longer until, he's a goof till the next season, but he's not right now.
Everybody can kind of fook Goff, for all the stuff that everybody's saying.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Here we go. Once again, Greenlaw again. You watch Greenlaw and Fred Warner. You're going to get a blitz.
Come on.
A blitz here from Greenlaw. Fred Warner's going to drop in the window, try to get in this window of this curl. I think Goff wants to throw this quick, but once Greenlaw blitzes, he kind of puts Penei Sewell in a blender because he has to. We saw AQ talk about this, I believe, last week. Now he has to slide back in and try to take most dangerous. Bosa ends up being unblocked. Goff has to pump it, protect the ball, and just take the sack on 2nd and 10. So now you're in 3rd and, probably 14, 15. So you'll see the blender that Sewell has put in.
Some good D.
Greenlaw is going to blitz. Fred Warner showing post snap. He's going to drop. He's going to blitz. Boom. Now he's got a pick.
Oh, no.
Most dangerous. Bosa comes right down the line, gets home.
And Goff?
He's trying to get rid of it right now, but
Goff can see him, you think, corner of his eye?
He can probably feel him right now, but right now he sees, I believe this is Reynolds. He sees him wide open. I don't know if he's supposed to be hot or I don't know that. That's something AQ will have to cover because they slid left. It looked like Reynolds is not looking for the ball, but you can tell Goff wants to let it go right now. He does not.
No shrug from Bosa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Neither time. I think it's because he probably feels like should have had more of these because a lot of people have just been waiting for him to go off and
they're probably
they're getting killed.
Probably down a couple scores at this point.
I like Bosa, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he's another guy, biggest game,
He's going to shine.
plays his biggest ball.
Yeah,
Just
time.
like Brock Purdy. They got a lot of those guys on that team.
Big time player.
A lot of game managers over here.
Excited to see CMC in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
That'll be
me too.
Trent Williams.
Exciting. Hey, 3rd and 9.
Get Trent Williams a touchdown.
Yeah, get him moving in the Super Bowl, please.
Get
First
Trent
one.
Williams a touchdown. Hey, Kyle, you drop such good plays, huh? All right, well, get Trent Williams a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Prove it.
All right. You get everybody else touchdowns. Do it for Trent. He deserves it for sure.
Hey, Reed, 3rd and 9, money down. Even showed this pressure a little bit. Didn't care. Fuck it. Still going to run it. I believe they sent 6 here. Odell tried to get a little chip here. Reed's going to come in and they had enough to pick it up, but he just whoops the running back. Gets home to Lamar Jackson. 3rd and 9, big time down, Spags. He was sending the gas. He was going to make Lamar adjust, throw from the pocket. They did a great job of rush lanes all night long with this game against Lamar Jackson.
All night long.
But you gotta obviously as a running back, he wants that one back.
Yeah, Justice Hill also, I don't know if you guys saw the block in the end zone he had on Chris Jones. People are all pissed about.
Who's that?
Yeah, but
Justice Hill, he tripped Chris Jones in the end zone.
For the safety?
Yeah, for the safety, and that was a lot of Chiefs fans were bringing that up with the whole NFL rigged refs on our side.
Hill is explosive with the ball, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. 3rd and 9, trust me, Hill wants to be in this route. Like get me out in the routes. I don't want to be in here protecting. Leave Gus or somebody else in here to protect. You got to win against a DB. I'm sure they're telling them that. And as a DB, you got to win against that type of back. Another one, Trent McDuffie. Watch these guys. So Dan talked about this yesterday about kind of how these underneath defenders were reading it and then turning their backs to the quarterback and getting under. So you pause it here. You see how they're turning their backs to Lamar and getting under these routes. Once again, a great job with the pass rush lanes. I'll talk about that from the tight copy. You make Lamar stay in that pocket. In my opinion, now it's, once again, easier with this stick in my hand, easier to be the Monday morning quarterback. In this situation, tuck it and run. I feel like it was a lot of situations on tape, at least, where Lamar Jackson had the opportunity, kind of like we saw with Brock Purdy in the second half of the game, like, hey, just going to tuck it and get 10, get 15, get 20. Who knows how much with 8 running the ball. Pause it. But right here, I'm getting up right in there. His back is to me. His back is to me. Those are the athletes on the field. Let me get up there. Karlaftis does a great job.
Oh, yeah.
If you run it back from the beginning.
It's scary to turn your back on Lamar, isn't it, D?
Oh, yeah.
I know if I'm a linebacker, I do not ever want to turn my back on him.
Yeah, but you can tell this was the plan. This was the plan. And obviously
Look him up and then get him to sit at the sticks. Yeah,
Yep.
Look up the route to sit at the sticks, get your eyes on him, because it's going to take all of us to get this guy down if he does pull it down.
Absolutely, and they execute. Nobody's been a hero. He's trying to muddy it up. And obviously, we hate that he got hurt. But this is once again.
Hey, tore ACL.
Yep. So obviously he's done for the rest of
Karlaftis had a good game, man. Karlaftis, I feel like that dude was good.
He did.
He's got a high motor, doesn't he?
He does.
Look at him. Look at him spin back. Don't go too far by the quarterback. Spin back around. You run to the ball. Good things happen.
Purdue guy.
But once again, if he's watching this film, I'm sure he saw at least 5-6 opportunities where, hey, just tuck the ball, be an athlete, You don't have to drop back and throw it 40
I
times
can't
if it's
believe
not
people
there.
are calling for Harbs out there. I did not expect
wild.
that.
Oh yeah,
That's
a lot
wild.
of them.
I did not expect that. I mean,
At all.
I guess I should have because the way the NFL is and expectations.
Was it always like this, Pat? Was it always like this where it's like, okay, we got guys that want to ring, have been successful, but not, they just
Can't be.
I don't know. Like, where we just want to fire every coach every year if they win the Super Bowl?
The NFL is very fickle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very fickle, it feels like, at this standpoint. But it's because of how big it is, how passionate people are, you know, how invested everybody seemingly is, and also the 24/7 sports news cycle.
Yep. Yeah.
Certainly
If the-
feeds it all.
Available-
So we're part of the problem.
If the
Available
Niners,
coaches.
if the Niners didn't come back,
True.
same thing would be happening with Shanahan,
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
which is
For
wild
sure.
too.
Yeah, it is very wild. But
Another
that's life
situation.
in the NFL, baby.
That's right.
Life in the NFL. Another situation, I think Lamar, once again, in retrospect, could have tucked and ran it. Now, if you look at the effort on these routes, before I even get to what Lamar done, it's one person I feel like, I don't know if it was in the huddle, whatever, hey, this play is supposed to go to likely. These guys, this effort, I mean, it's just, it's fourth quarter.
It's not championship effort.
It's 6:50, you know. I mean, we need better effort out of those
Need a
guys,
score.
first and foremost. But Isaiah, like he's running his ass off. He wants the ball, throw it up. Maybe if he throws it here, maybe,
Man,
but
I didn't
probably
know.
not.
Nobody's
because of-
talking about that on
that's,
this.
That's fucking absurd.
That is. And this is the one. He threw it into triple coverage. It was like, well, you only had one guy on the field.
Only guy running down the damn field like he wants the ball. 2nd and 10, once again. 8. He's not open. Obviously, Deion Bush's backside. He's keying the quarterback the whole way because the backside receiver is not threatening him in the slightest. So that's a tough spot to throw that ball in. Once again, 2nd and 10. Live to see another down. You got Justin Tucker. You can get points on the board. You can once again, backs are turned. Like this was there on tape at least a handful of times for 8. And this is probably a touchdown, honestly, if Lamar takes off. Once again, made this throw. Didn't have his best game, and obviously Spags' defense and how they executed didn't help at all. So some great plays. Deion Bush getting called to action, showing up in the biggest moment.
Hey, congrats to the Chiefs defense being an absolute weapon and seemingly having Lamar and the entire Baltimore Ravens team that was very dominant all year out of sorts. Can't wait to see Chiefs Niners next weekend. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Everything DB presents. Good D-Bad.
Yes, sir.
Fair work, D-Butch.
All right, D-Butch.
You want to
Big
shoot
Perk,
something
fellas.
to win some, do a give? Nah, do it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Maybe it'll be something with these Top Golf balls.
Ooh, yeah, I'll figure something
Or
out.
you'll
for it.
figure something out. And remember, right now on the Top Golf app, you can get half off Monday through Friday Top Golfing at one of their bays.
Nice.
Now, it does not work at the Las Vegas location.
Sure.
But anywhere else, Monday through Wednesday, half off Top Golf at the Top Golf app, AJ Hawk.
I love it. Top Golf is always jammed. When I go to the one in Columbus, it's a great spot no matter what night of the week you're there.
The one here in Indianapolis, packed.
Jammed.
Miami, same.
Jammed.
Congrats to Top Golf creating something special.
Figured it out.
Man, and thanks for the half off Monday through Wednesday deal.
Huge.
To provide for people. And also SeatGeek, $500 off big game tickets right now.
Hell yeah.
What's retail for tickets right now? Sorry.
7,000.
Jeez. It's the cheapest.
I just saw the average is 9,500.
Dude, yeah. This
That
is-
much now?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to
Vegas.
see this matchup.
What's that?
So it's all corporate. It's all corporate. No fans are going.
It's not about the teams. That's not.
Oh.
They don't want to. They're not paying for the football. They're paying to sit in the seat.
Got it.
You know what I mean? This is a crop matchup.
It's a crop.
Crap much.
Total cross. No John.
How about how dramatic people are being?
Did you see Did you have
Yeah,
to see
that's
going
another
around
thing
the
that's
internet
not going to change.
that this is the worst NFL season of all time? Did you see that going around the internet?
What?
That's awesome, dude. I love it. Who are these people? Is this like
It was
I
one
don't
of
know.
those accounts that likes to say things and do what they do. You know who it was.
I don't.
That's
I
all
not with
accounts?
that. Yeah.
Is that every account?
Was it an aggregator?
It was one of those accounts.
Okay.
Yes.
Us talking about it only motivates them more. I'm just going to put that out there as well.
Well, they do good sometimes, but then also just creating a narrative that is potentially not real, but just acting as if it is, and only presenting things that make your narrative look right without the whole truth is certainly an issue that is just not experiencing sports, though. This is the whole world. Let's just enjoy the fuck out of. We have a Super Bowl Sunday coming.
Got one game left.
Yeah, let's talk about how bad the football season when we're sitting at home watching nothing. You know, The season's been unbelievable. It's NFL football.
What do we got now? Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Yep.
Chicago State, Tuesday night, 10 p.m.
Yeah, college basketball and March
You know,
Madness.
we're in it. We're in it,
We got
boys.
Senior Bowl up into the draft.
One-on-ones happening every single day on NFL Network.
There's
We'll
some
watch
guys
those.
cooking out there today.
There is. There's some guys also getting exposed at the Classic Senior Bowl. That's going to happen. Congrats to the 75th anniversary team that made it for the first 75 years of the Senior Bowl.
Pro Bowl games this weekend?
Yep.
Or this week?
Everybody's jocked about those.
Mm-hmm.
Olympics?
No,
We're
but
ways away.
Is
Summer.
The Europes are this summer?
Euros
this is
and
summer.
Copa America in the U.S. this summer.
Yeah, but the Europes are never going to be respected until they put the pink slips on the line against the Concavas.
Yeah, but U.S. is in Copa America this year. Couldn't do it.
We're not in Concavas?
You're in the Copa America.
It's better.
It's way better.
Yeah, Concava.
Playing against Argentina and Brazil.
Is Methy's on our team?
No, he's on Argentina.
What?
That's bullshit.
What did we pay him all the money for?
I mean, Inter Miami's having a tough preseason right now. Lost in Saudi yesterday.
Is Methy playing, though?
Yes, he scored. Suarez scored. They lost 4-3.
How much money are they getting paid? I didn't even think about the extra money to travel Inter Miami.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
They're like a band in the soccer world. Oh, they're paying them a shit ton of money.
Big money game.
When does MLF happen?
Still a bit away.
Time.
Amen.
What was that? I missed that.
Amen, brother.
What?
See you this summer.
Full season of
This is what we're
Messi
talking about.
in the
We
MLS
still have
will be
NFL
sweet.
football, okay?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Let's not complain about it. Let's enjoy it. I wish the Colts were playing. Everybody would be much happier, obviously, to see the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl. I get it, okay? Maybe the Patriots in there.
No.
Tired of that.
No, actually, a lot of Chiefs fans have said, hey, to New England fans, sorry for saying that the game was rigged for you all these years because now we understand what you have gone through.
Yeah, because you can't bitch about anything.
Because we were the first ones. We were the first Chiefs, so we went through this already as a fan base.
Well, there's the Steelers and the Raiders. And
in the last 20 years where like the game's rigged and the script and
where this has become the thing.
the refs are getting calls from Goodell. I don't think they were dealing with that in the 70s, maybe. But now, because of how relevant it is and loud it is.
They're spiking his cigarettes at halftime.
Exactly.
They're putting a little extra sauce on there so he can't breathe in a second.
No, I remember 70 Steelers, they were all roided up out of their minds. They all used steroids, they all cheated.
They weren't the only ones.
I don't think they
Everyone
tested
did.
it back then.
This is just like when everybody's like,
I don't think they tested until like late 80s.
McGuire's head grew 14 sizes. It's like,
That's the golden era of baseball.
well, tell me the pitcher's heads. I want to know how big the pitcher's heads are.
Those dudes' legs, they were squatting 7,000 pounds, throwing the ball 140.
Yeah, everybody's just talking about how the big bats are coming out to play. It's like, well, there was also balls probably getting thrown faster than ever on the other side as well. So we got to take that into account. Like whenever we're talking about Kalen DeBoer, and he was a Sioux Falls coach, and they're like, it doesn't count Sioux Falls. He had Sioux Falls players playing against people that Sioux Falls are playing against, and he got them to beat that level of competition. Then he goes, to Indiana here at IU, gets them to beat this. Like he wins, Like we need to judge McGuire and the boys who aren't ever going to get into the Hall of Fame, right?
No, already it's done. They've been
damn.
They've been on the ballot and they haven't got in, so like they can't ever get in now.
It's like they were playing against people that were,
Oh yeah.
How come that doesn't get talked about?
It's
There's
horseshit.
definitely guys in that have been juicing, but they just didn't get caught up in the fray, too.
Absolutely.
Call Passon. Can we call Passon, please? See what he's doing.
What does baseball do now?
What do you mean?
Like just during this time of the year.
What are you talking about, dude?
Pitchers and
Pitchers and
catchers
catchers
about
report in
to
12 days.
Yeah, so
12
now.
days?
I mean, that's a long time. So now, that's what I mean.
So they can't even watch the Super Bowl? What are you
talking about? Don't watch the Super Bowl.
They're reporting on Super Bowl day?
Probably Monday after.
Yeah, probably the Monday after. It was 12 days whenever I saw it. They'll watch the Super Bowl. Those guys care. Kidding me?
They're athletes.
Yeah.
Jeff Passon did it. That's how we know. All right, why are we even talking about baseball anyways?
Yeah, we're talking about football.
We still have it.
Why the fuck are we talking about baseball?
We still have football.
Or soccer.
Let's go. Let's enjoy this.
Jeez, take it easy.
Let's go ahead and continue to appreciate the greatness that we're getting to watch. Shout to the Chiefs, shout to the Niners, and shout to you for allowing us to do this every single day for a living. It is absurd. It is bananas, and we are incredibly grateful for it. AJ, great work today with that new haircut, pal.
Good work, guys. Great work.
D-Butch, great work today, pal.
Great work, D-Butt. I like that jumpsuit.
Town, great. Yeah, me too. It's
Great
really,
jumper.
actually, look on the back of his calf. Back of the calf. Wait till you see this. Oh,
Oh,
Boom.
man.
Matching.
Super,
on.
super
Where do I
fashion.
get one of those?
AJ, you shouldn't wear that.
Oh,
Why not?
Cleaning this.
Looks sweet. Maybe like a black one or a red one or something.
Who is that?
Sergio Ticini.
Okay.
Is that really cool female designer?
No, I believe this is Italian stallion from back in the day.
What's his name?
Sergio Ticini.
Ticini. How do you spell that?
You know, just like Kachuk.
Did you see how matter of fact he was?
Did you just make that up?
No. These guys been around for decades.
Yeah.
They look phenomenal. That looks phenomenal.
Does.
It's a timeless guy.
Sergio Ticini.
Boom.
Sergio Ticini. Born in 1938.
Dog.
He's an Italian former professional tennis player and fashion designer of sportswear. The sportswear firm bearing his name is located in Bellinzago, Novara, Italy. Jesus. A lot of names.
Of course.
Beautiful place.
You look so cool in that.
So beautiful.
Look how cool you look. Super fashion. We should have talked about that earlier when we were talking about fashion.
Appreciate that. Hey, Sergio, send me some.
Sergio Ticini.
Yeah, he's
still alive.
He's dead.
No.
No, he's not.
Look when he was
Whoever's running it.
That guy
Is he dead? Did it say dead? Did they put an expiration date?
Italians live forever, my friend.
He's currently 85 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, Sergio, keep doing it,
Okay.
Ticini.
Yeah.
Prove it. Send a bunch of shit.
Oh, he played?
Oh, yeah.
He played.
The hell? Did you read that? Former professional.
I know I didn't.
Look at his career singles record. He was a fucking dog.
7-17. He
I
knew
don't
he had
Those are tough games.
He had fast. He knew he had fast in his back
It was
pocket.
he only played the majors. Look, he made the third round of the U.S. Open. Guy was a dog.
Yeah,
The
look at
final?
Wimbledon. He got to the second round, 1966.
1 and 2 in doubles.
That was back when they were really playing, too.
What was the big? Was it McElroy? He had one of his guys who were like. That was like
Ticini?
his brand, like one of his big brand ambassadors.
Who'd you say?
Back in the day.
McElroy.
Greg?
McElroy?
Rory?
McEnroe.
Johnny
Show some
Greg?
respect.
Greg, he's good.
Greg
tennis, huh?
McElroy.
He's good at tennis.
I don't know if Greg McElroy will wear any Sergio Ticcinis, but I would like to hang out with Greg McElroy another night or two.
Amen.
What a legend.
That guy goes.
He does. He does.
Dog.
Atta baby, Greg.
Love you, Greg.
It was great hanging out with you down at the national
He had
championship.
sweet
Greg.
cowboy boots, man. He had legit cowboy boots.
He was dancing on it. It was awesome. All right, well, let's get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Talks table, great work. Hammered down in the back. Phenomenal job today. We got a big one tomorrow. Hey,
Dude.
big one tomorrow.
Let's go.
For shoot. It's great to be back in WWE. It was so cool seeing everybody last night.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Had to give blood. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's.
Almost passed out as soon as I got there.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to take your blood for a physical. I'm like, I don't want to. How about that?
Really check it.
Well, I don't know. They're about to learn a lot. You know, they're about to learn a lot. But if they tell me I'm going to die, I'm almost like keep the information to yourself, please.
Yeah.
But everybody there seems to genuinely like us.
Yeah.
And it is so awesome. And Triple H posted, welcome home. You know, it does actually feel like that. So thank you to the WWE and the WWE Universe for allowing us to be back in your world. It is an absolute honor. We'll continue trucking on for as long as you'll have us. Trying to be a little mental vacation for you. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Goodbye.